weeks, getting all 3 shows in last week. We should feel very, very fortunate. Country music star Dylan Scott delivers our anthem every night for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. And you can check out his new album called Easy Does It by scanning that QR code you see on your screen and see his upcoming concert dates right there, starting at Estero in Orlando, Florida, and St. Augustine as well. 3 in a row in the Sunshine State coming up this weekend, or next weekend, actually. No, this weekend. I've lost all track of time. Dylan Scott, the on-the-rise country music star, will join us on set for the first time Wednesday, June 4th at Eldora Speedway. He will be with us on our pre-race show as we head into the Dirt Late Model Dream. I am Michael Rigsby inside our Bloomington, Illinois studio, and welcome to night number 4 of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, our midweek Dirt Late Model series that was just absolutely blessed with incredible weather in our home state right here in Illinois last week. As we continue tonight with more of that awesome weather to our west and our neighbor state of Iowa as we roll into Marshalltown Speedway, as they've affectionately coined themselves America's bucket list track, and they might just be right. My co-host for the night's proceedings, as always, is Kevin Kovac, who joins me from his Pennsylvania home. Kevin, I'm going to start here. I think we are so used to operating, Kovac, from a position of rainouts this time of year, right? April, May, you lose a ton of races. We're about to get in our 6th consecutive night of major late model racing between last week and this week. 7, really, if you count the high limit race at Kokomo last night. But I just feel like it doesn't get talked about enough how important momentum is in dirt track racing and in short track racing. It just creates such a better vibe and feeling. We're about to go 6 nights in a row of major late model racing, 5 last week, 1 this week. That really matters, doesn't it, Kevin?
Oh, man, it puts everybody in a good mood, you know? Like, yeah, you just think about it, like when it's like there's a chance of rain and everybody's showing the series director their phones. Look at this, the rain's coming. Look at the radar here. Look what's going on, you know? And they're like, yeah, I think I know about that. I know that the rain's coming. You don't have to tell me that. I've known about it for the last week. But nobody had to do that the entire week. I mean, how often does that happen where you go 5 nights in a row of a speed week? No radar has to be even brought out. Again tonight at Marshalltown. I just quickly last year I kind of compared to last year. First 2 weeks in May last year, National Tour races. 5 of 9 were rained out. Oof. You know, that's a Flo, Lucas, and World of Outlaws. Yeah. This year, 2 of 11 were rained out. So it's already off to a much better start this May. Yeah, let's reflect on Illinois Speed Week a little bit. Look back before we look forward to Marshalltown tonight. As you zoom out and pull back, what are your biggest takeaways from that 5 races and 5 nights at 5 tracks we got in? You know, it's Tuesday night, by the way. Just 1 week ago, we were starting at LaSalle. So we are only 1 week removed now from the grand reopening of LaSalle. It feels like 100 years already. But what do you take away from a very successful Illinois Speed Week? Like the healthy fields, I mean, very talented fields. I mean, you could, like we talked about it, 19 out of the top 25 dirt on dirt guys in the poll were all there, you know, for at least a part of the week. And when you look at that, I mean, you still look who won the races, though. Yeah. It was Ricky Thornton Jr., Jonathan Davenport won twice, Bobby Pierce, Devin Moran, the top 4 guys in the poll.
These guys are pretty good.
All that quality talent there, and they still could not beat those 4 guys. I mean, some guys they flirted with it. Brandon Shepard probably the closest with the 2 seconds in the last 2 nights, but still, there's a hierarchy right now that really shows. I mean, when they're all together too. This is a Speed Weeks or Eldora type of field and those guys still rise to the top. Not every night. I mean, some of them had some off nights, but one of them, how do you beat 4 of them every night? That's what's so tough.
Everybody knows I'm in the bag for Illinois all the time anyway. I'm from Illinois. I get accused of being an Illinois homer. And I want to be I'm saying that because I'm about to make this statement and people are going to say, oh, he's even more pro-Illinois. I'm not calling Illinois Speed Week a crown jewel. It's not that, okay? I want to be very clear. It's not that. Even the $30,000 to win at my home track, I'm part owner of it, Fairbury, not a crown jewel. But I do think collectively that week has been raised by this season, Kovac. I think what we just did to get 5 races in, 5 really good races races, one incredible finish at Fairbury again. I was struck by walking through the stands and the pits. A guy from Pennsylvania stopped me who flew in from the week. A guy from Minneapolis who had drove down from the week. A guy from Memphis who had drove up from the week. Not Ben Shelton, a different guy from Memphis who drove up for the entire week. It felt like that camper's moving track to track. I think Illinois Speed Week went from here to here. Not a crown jewel, but I think it's officially clicked into that, oh, this has entered the zeitgeist of dirt late model racing, that it really matters this last week now.
Oh, yeah. You had to get that consistency of every race going. Well, last year, what, 2 of the 4 were able to get in and beat the rain. And that's just a regular weekend then when you have 2 races. So this time, all 5, I mean, it just – I love the going back and, going race to race, little caravans of cars and campers and fans going to the next one. You're going to see those fans at the at a convenience store, at the gas station or whatever.
Casey's, yeah.
I mean, it gives it a neat feel when everybody's kind of on that same little path and they're not just locked into one place.
We move on to Marshalltown tonight, a track that Marshalltown to me has been on hardcore racers' radar for a long time. Like race junkies like DJ, Dustin Jarrett, they've known about Marshalltown. Iowa folks have known about Marshalltown. But I really do think it took our event there a couple of years ago. That was a great race for the country to go, oh, wow, Marshalltown is more than IMCA stock cars. Give me your Marshalltown takes, your thoughts on Marshalltown, a place whose profile has really risen the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I haven't been there yet, see it in person. But when you talk about like that, how the people talk like they're not. You're the Dustin Jarretts, of course. They started it. They started spreading the word, I think, a little bit about Marshalltown. Hey, check it out, and then it's on Flow. The weekly racing is on there, and Dustin's always talking about how fast they run it off. How efficient they are, and how crazy the racing is. And I know I've had friends that have come up and told me that, I mean, they have never, they're not Midwesterners. I mean, they're here in the Northeast and they watch Marshalltown. They know about Marshalltown and they kind of wish it was closer to the Northeast probably so they could get there. But then, it did put it over the top when you have that late model race, and Everett's kind of bring that more of attention to it. But it's been there now. I think it's like people watch that. I mean, let's look at the numbers there. Probably for weekly racing, it's probably one of the most viewed weekly races.
It's our most. I mean, they're in Port Royal or tops on FloRacing, right? As far as just and 2, could they be different tracks, Kevin? This giant half mile in Port Royal that's a sprint car track, and this IMCA stock car track in Iowa. They couldn't be more opposite. But some tracks are just shaped. I think Fairbury, Vado, Marshalltown's one of those places, just shaped and moved perfectly. It's just the right. Deer Creek, River Cities, they're just shaped exactly right to produce this great racing, and Marshalltown's one of them, Kevin.
Yeah, it's got that dark black clay, like dirt. And it's like quintessential, Iowa and Midwest. It gives it that extra little oomph there for everybody to want to watch it, and now it makes it. And then they don't have late model races that often. So when one comes in, it makes it a big deal because everybody's heard about this place. I got to see late models at it.
Let's try to alienate people. My final pre-race show question for you before we get to Todd Turner is Iowa or Illinois dirt tracks? Gun to your head, Kovac. Which one's better?
That's a tough one, right? But I mean, honestly, I've seen way more races in Illinois than I have Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa hasn't, since I've been doing late model racing, hasn't been a super late model.
Knoxville only, pretty much, right?
It's like there's all these specials and stuff. I mean, I've seen races in there. Obviously, Knoxville. Yeah, when you say Knoxville, that does kind of put it up. It's
big.
It puts it up higher now. But I've seen so many more races in Illinois, and Iowa does have those bigger tracks. Some of them that are bigger. That kind of changes it a little bit, like when you kind of list Illinois and Iowa. So I guess I got to go Iowa. There's so many good races I've seen.
Man, all right. Well,
sorry, Illinois. I say Iowa.
You did say Iowa, and I knew you meant Illinois. So sorry, Hawkeye State folks, we're sorry. We've got 3 races in a FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Our points look like this as we head into night number 4. Bobby Pierce, who of course gave that championship away last year at Sonoy on the final weekend. Ricky Thornton took it from him. He is your current points leader, $75,000 for that championship. Squirrel Brian Shirley, who is not going to come tonight, I believe is on property right now. He's 15 points back. RTJ in third. JD again. again, not going to run the tour. Now he's at Marshalltown tonight. We know he'll be at Eldora in June. He's probably going to be at the PDC in July. So will JD finish off the series? Nick Hoffman, who I don't think we'll have tonight, Devin Moran, Brandon Shepard, Ryan Gustin, of course, the Marshalltown native, Dennis Erb Jr., and Mikey Marlar round out your top 10. I think we'll be somewhere, I'll check my notes here in a second, I will be somewhere in that 31 to 34 range on car count tonight. The crazy thing is, after tonight, Kevin, how about this? 40% of our entire schedule will be over on May 13th after tonight. The remaining schedule for the series looks like this: Marshalltown tonight, then those on-location pre-race shows we've got. Kevin and I will be on site, well, actually, Kevin won't be because he's got a high school graduation for his son that night. He will be at the rest of the Dirt Late Model Dream, but Kevin will be at the pre-PDC event with me, one for the road at Fairbury. But Fairbury after that, Volunteer Speedway for that awesome Scott Bloomquist Memorial on September 11th, Hobstadt on September 24th at Tri-State Speedway, and we finish off at Sonoy. Kevin, there's only 6 races left after tonight. Eldora and Fairbury being part of 2 Crown Jewel weekends. We are zipping this season along after we had a lot of trouble last year.
Yeah, I know. I think Ben Shelton must have been like, he was being good over the winter, right? Because last year he just had so many headaches with this weather. Now it's just like going right along for him. So, man, I don't know what Ben, he's living good, I guess, the way everything's going for Ben with being at the helm here at the FloRacing series.
He's cursing us. We're about 30 minutes from hot laps. He's cursing us right now. Shut up about the weather. It's Iowa. It can blow up at any point. But we're going to take our first commercial break. The great Todd Turner. We don't even have a Todd graphic tonight. We've got Todd live with us, Kevin, tonight, which is great. He'll join on to talk about industry headlines and so much more. You're watching FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. We'll be back after this.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry.
Season 2 is here. The Dirt Track series that shook the world is back. Bigger, faster, and ready to make history. It all begins under the bright lights of Sin City. Catch up with Dirt Season 2 on Flow March 12th. Join Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney, and the biggest names in dirt racing as they battle for glory and take fans along for the wildest ride of the year. From the first green flag to the epic finale, High Limit is more than racing, it's a movement.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
How about this place, the High Banks? What a race. Lap traffic. How crazy did that get there with 5 to go, having to work through lap traffic, and you've got Bobby Pierce literally working every inch of this racetrack to get around you.
Yeah, I knew he was close. I seen his nose a couple times there, especially like as I was the lap traffic was tough because I just, I didn't really feel like I could get off of that bottom or off of that top and make any ground around the bottom or anything. So I just figured if the worst case scenario, if he slides me or something, maybe if I keep running that top, I'll be able to cross him over. But I made a huge mistake coming here with 2 to go, and I slid Bruning, and I clobbered the wall. I don't know what I was doing, but I thought to myself, whatever that happened, I said, now if I lose this race, I'm going to be real mad. So,
Welcome back to FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. 20 years from now, and I'm 63 years old, and when I think back on FloRacing Night in America, Kevin, I will think about that moment at Marshalltown is just one of the many, but one of the highlights is that Rocket 1 driven by Hudson O'Neal that night, just barely skating that turn 4 exit of that wall, just almost missing disaster and battling Bobby Pierce for that races. There's a reason they call this place one of the bucket list tracks. That moment, Kevin, it was wild that he was this close to hitting that outside turn 4 wall, and I will always think about that moment that night.
No, I mean, I like that. That's like it's on the pre-race show too.
It
it's
is,
on the
yeah.
the pre opening of the show. It's like when you see that, every time I see that, I'm like, man, that is one of like the shots I feel like of the year of many years for late model racing. That drone shot, they were like, you couldn't put a piece of paper between Bobby and Hudson coming off that corner. I mean, that just was like. That's just late model racing right there. When you look at that, I'll show that to anybody that was like, man, what's late model racing about? Hey, take a look at this video right here. It's pretty cool.
No, I totally agree with you. Well, normally this is the point in the show where we bring on Todd Turner's graphic. The Hall of Famer has his full screen graphic, and Kovac and I get it. We don't like to look at it before we see it. It's the great reveal, and we see what kind of funny things Todd comes up with. What's better than having a Todd Turner graphic? How about having Todd Turner himself on the air with us? Look at the Hall of Famer joining us now. And the glasses really, don't you think he looks so much smarter with the glasses, Kevin? Like, they just make him look that much smarter.
Oh, my God. When
I'm
you
not
see
sure
him
he
in
gets
the
Go ahead.
so when you see him in the Eldora media room, and then you know things are serious when Todd clicks the glasses together. He has those separated ones,
separators.
You know? He clicks them together. You know things are going down at that
Kelly
point.
Carlton at Fairbury, when I talked to him, he was almost tearful. Todd is donating a pair of his glasses to the Hall of Fame for his little shadow box thing. Kelly was almost tearful about him. I mean, goodness gracious. Todd, anything to add to that with the glasses? Superpower of any kind, or no?
I mean, I have grown up and I have like big boy glasses now, so there is that.
Todd, I actually wanted to start here with you tonight, and thank you for joining us. Marshalltown. Have you ever been to Marshalltown? I don't normally ask you that, but I didn't know if you'd ever been there for a race or not.
No, I've not. Of course, during most of my career, it was kind of a spec engine type place, and not a whole lot of late model races, but a lot of that Deary Brothers stuff. So now that they're in the modern era of super late model races, it's kind of nice that they're getting to be part of it. I do love those shots of the water tower in the background, and the racing's been fun to watch the last couple of years.
Yeah, I didn't think so. You don't find a lot of places he's not been, but I didn't think but you never know. Like, I could see Todd, in your National Dirt Digest days, you used to do here's a fun road trip. I could see you doing a Deary Brothers race on a Thursday, and then Peevely or Granite City on a Friday, and then Paducah, Kentucky on a Saturday. Couldn't you see some version of that for yourself back in the day?
If they just would have scheduled it on the right night, I probably was trying to squeeze a double header in there with Quincy or something, but never quite fell that way.
I asked Kevin to give me his high-level Illinois Speed Week takes. What are yours? What'd you take away from those 5 races in 5 days last week?
Well, I even talked about this beforehand. It's those fields are so stacked that you can certainly have your ego knocked down a notch or two for some of those guys who couldn't not only not win, but there's a pretty good list of guys who only had 1/10 place finish the whole week. Brandon Overton, Dalton Wilson, Drake Troutman, Tyler Erb, even Garrett Albertson, kind of a little more in the mix, but he only had 1 finish better than 10th. Jason Fager, of course, right there in Illinois, never better than 13th. I mean, you gotta, you obviously know you're facing those incredibly tough fields, but that kind of shows, those guys 5 nights in a row, and a lot of those guys couldn't crack a top 10 or a top 5 very well.
Kevin, before you go real quick, Fager, I saw him one night at Pitts in Spoon River, and he said, I just keep having to remind our guys, yes, these are home tracks. Yes, we are good here. Yes, these fields are good. Like, his team was dejected, Todd. And, Brian Shirley had some good runs, but it is hard for a guy like Fager who wins at those places all the time. They got to remind themselves of that, right?
Yeah, that's some tough fields there. Yeah, Todd, I want to ask you about Marshalltown. When did it kind of go onto your radar even? Did you really realize how good Marshalltown was through most of your writing career, or is it more recently?
No, really, it's just in the recent years when the super light models have become a thing there. Again, all those spec engine racing, and not being there and not knowing much about it. Really, my biggest connection to Marshalltown for many years was Daryl DeFrance, of course, the longtime Ironman racer with the Theory Brothers series. I remember interviewing him 25 or 26 years ago, talking about how, man, you could sure do go to a lot of races, and now he's still out there racing. So he was probably my biggest connection to Marshalltown proper. But no, I didn't realize what I was missing with the racetrack there.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's just the Midwestern setting. You just don't see, Todd. Actually, bonus question, the water tower setting, are there tracks in the South that are as Norman Rockwell-ish? It seems like every Midwestern track's got this Norman Rockwell angle with the old grandstands and the water tower. What am I missing in the Southeast? Does that exist down there? Oh, there's the old water tower and Joe's barn across the street. I don't feel like I see it down there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, 411 used to have the little water towers there, but not a lot.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Todd, it's May 13th, right? So we're getting there in the season a little bit. What do we know about dirt late model racing right now? What do we know on May 13th about the season so far?
My suspicion is when we look back later, that it hasn't happened yet. Maybe Bobby Pierce is part of it. I guess that's maybe the big thing. He'll be gunning to have more wins than last year, which he would have to hit 40 something. He's at 12. But the best part of his season was, starting in about 4th of July last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does. We've kind of dealt with the tire issue with Hoosier releasing that new revised right rear tire. And that mostly was, I don't know, about much ado about nothing. But, good that we were aware of it, but hasn't dramatically changed things. I don't know. The big races are really starting to come up. So that's really when it's going to be maybe set the tone for the season.
Yeah, bigger person than some of these too.
Todd, how tough is it going to be for these? And you talk about these big races. How many? There's big 4 guys, and when they were all together, just like they won all these 4 guys won all the races during Speed Week. And how tough is it going to be to shake them from winning, all the big ones, the big crown jewels this year?
Well, I guess that may end up being one of the keys to the season. Yeah, you see those guys didn't leave, just left scraps for everybody at Illinois Speed Week. But those 4 are kind of separating themselves. And we've seen that over time when, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 or however many drivers, but clearly that range from the top 4 to the rest of them, they're kind of widening that a little bit. Whether Pierce and Davenport and those guys are going to leave anything for anybody else, we'll see. I think that's which of those guys can win the most races could be determine what this season looks like.
I had a crew chief tell me this past week that, there's always the talk about the 32 and the 20 RT. They said if Jonathan Davenport is now winning on Illinois bull rings, it could be a little bit different year than people. He won twice last week, guys. I know he loves Spoon River. He doesn't love Fairbury, and he's very vocal about that. If he can win there, maybe there's a big 3 instead of a big 2 this year, Todd. And not to leave Devin out, but I think he's just a tick behind those 3. I think, Todd, what do you think?
I don't know. I like those 4. A little bit, it's been a little strange when we get to see them more together. Now when we separate and we get to see what Pierce does with World of Outlaws, get to see what these Lucas Oil guys, maybe those 3 on Lucas Oil series will leave nothing for anybody else. But I don't know. I think it's to be determined. But really, whenever I see Pierce, whenever I put my eyes on Pierce, I always feel like he's the guy that could really, as he does, reel off a ton of victories.
Yeah, it's the watching sports. When you watch a football player, he passes the eye test, right? When you watch him, you're like, 32 is probably the best. Todd, we appreciate you joining us, buddy. I think, Todd, you'll be at the Dream. Is that right? Are you going to be at the Dirt Late Model Dream?
I am.
I thought so. And Kevin Kovac's son, Cale, graduating high school finally this year. It's hard to believe. So Kevin will start late at the Dream. Todd, we appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. I'll see you at Eldora in a couple weeks, okay?
Thanks.
Final commercial break of the pre-race show, industry headlines, and final thoughts on the other side. You're watching FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Back after this.
Gave us that hilltop place to park.
For 45 years of experience, Buzzy Racing has mastered the art of drivetrain specialties, spanning from dirt to asphalt tracks. You're not just a customer, but a valued member of our family, embraced by the tradition and passion embedded in every Buzzy build. We cover everything from rebuilding and selling drivetrain components, offering custom Buzzy parts, steering box services, and ensuring top-notch maintenance and support for braking systems. We are committed to excellence in helping racers maintain a competitive edge on the track. Get it Buzzy built.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and the entire country since 1978. Our staff consists of fellow racers and crew members who combine for over 100 years of experience in the racing industry. Poske's is also the home to Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley and Octane Race Products. We have what you need when you need it and ship nationwide daily. Visit us in Parkersburg, West Virginia or online at Poske.com.
Allgaier Performance is your one-stop shop for all your parts, tires, shocks, and fabrication needs. From drag strips to your local dirt track and asphalt tracks, Allgaier Performance can get what you need on track and into victory lane. Allgaier Performance is now the Midwest dealer for Longhorn chassis, complete with cars and genuine Longhorn parts and components. Stop by our locations in Springfield, Illinois, or Brownsburg, Indiana, or visit online at allgaierperformance.com.
Hudson O'Neal 1 lap away from his first NASCAR FloRacing Night in America win.
Brandon Shepherd has changed his line, trying to get one last ditch effort. White flag is out, final time around. Shepherd to the inside at 1 and 2. Not going to get it done this time.
And Hudson O'Neal going to drive away from him off into 3 and 4. 5 races this year, 5 different winners. The winner tonight at Marshalltown, Hudson O'Neal in car 71.
Brandon Shepherd going to cross the line in second. Mike Marler third, and a gaggle of cars for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Welcome back to FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. We have had 2 events at Marshalltown Speedway in our series history. Both of them have been won by Hudson O'Neal, once in that Roger Sellers double-down car, once in the Rocket 1. And how about this, Kevin Kovac? Tonight, he could win his 3rd race at Marshalltown on our 3rd visit in his 3rd different car, the Roger Sellers car, the Rocket 1, and, of course, the car that he currently sits in now. I'm not sure I've ever seen that, where a guy 3 times over the course of 4 years in 3 different rides. That's pretty unique.
Yeah, Hudson's he's going into a lot of different cars here. It seems like, you know, he's like, yeah, I mean, and he's run more than that, you know. Really, you think about it, right? Because he started off the year, like, you know, after he left the Rocket House car last year, he went to his own deal, and then he went to the SSI Motorsports. So, geez, he's got. It's hard to remember which one's which. I mean, I see that video just there, and I see the number 1. I'm like, wait a minute, oh, there's no, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's not Hudson. That was the next year. Yeah,
that's right. It confuses me, you know.
And then it took me a while for Sheppy to get used to him being out of it. Now he's back in it, so I'll get there eventually. Let's take a look now as we wrap up a few minutes before Hot Laps. Let's take a look at industry headlines. Kevin, industry headlines, we've got 3 of them for you. How about Jimmy Owens, one of the best dudes in the sport? And I was talking to JD over the weekend at Farmer City. He's probably a top 6 or 7 all-time dirt late model driver when you stack up his resume. Snapped a 15-month winless streak and a great feature at Lake Cumberland with Ray Cook Spring Nationals on Saturday night. Cool victory lane setting there, too, with some of the folks that were down there. Cool to see J.O. back in victory lane over a year since he had won a race.
Yeah, it's 15 months. The track that he last won a race at is not even there, and it's not even running anymore. It was East Bay back back in February of 2024. That's how long it's been since Owens had won. But he's been showing some signs in the last few weeks. That was his 4th straight podium, that win. He finished 3rd also on Friday night at Rock Castle, and then he goes at Lake Cumberland and wins. And again, he's not going to be running a national tour, but the way he's running now, he's running that Hunt to Front and Hunt Front Super Dirt Series. The way he's going, it looks like he'll be a major contender for that $50,000 title.
when people ask me for our second headline here, what are the big events that you're looking forward to that might not have been big events but are now? I'd say Eagle for sure this weekend. $50,000 to win Saturday night. It is a 3-day show at Eagle Speedway this weekend. Eagle, long-time sprint car track, right? The World of Outlaw sprint cars used to go there back in the day. It was that area of the country is an open wheel haven. Late models have started to break through. Probably be 30, 32 cars there this weekend, but it is an awesome track. Lucas is there this weekend. I'm pumped up for it.
Yeah, Hudson. There's another track that Hudson won at last year. He won that first Lucas race at Eagle, and man, it was a heck of a race too. And that was right when he got into the SSI Motorsports car, in July. So he wasn't even really settled in yet. Todd Turner actually is going to be covering that for Dirt on Dirt, so everybody will be able to see his takes on Eagle. It's only 15 minutes maybe from the old I-80 Speedway,
right there across the opposite side of the interstate. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it kind of can fill that gap there to Omaha people. Don't get their super late model racing without I-80, so now Eagle can maybe settle in there, and maybe that could be a big annual event, kind of leading into the Show Me 100 just next week, out in that same kind of neck of the woods,
Yeah, big area of the country, 2 weeks in a row, huge Lucas Oil super late model races. And finally, when I draw a picture of promoter, Kevin, in the dictionary, and someone asks me 100 years from now, what did a dirt track promoter look like? I'm not saying Mooney Star has always done it perfectly, and he would be the one to tell you that if he sat right here, but boy, do I think of Mooney Star, the longtime Batesville promoter who was done at the track. He's back. He had a pretty good Bad Boy 98 weekend. When I think of Batesville, I think of the Moon Man, and he almost tried to hire me back in the day, right out of college, by the way, to come work for the Mars series when he had it. It's cool to see Mooney back at Batesville. He's just a dude that you can't not think of when you think about being a promoter, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Even the way he sort of announced that he was going to be back, that he had a deal. Him and his wife were going to retire. They're going to go travel a little bit back in November. And then in February, the deal that they had to sell the racetrack kind of fell through, and he did not want this track to not be a racetrack anymore. He wants it to stay a track. So he said, I'll take it. And then he makes that video announcing it, saying that, I took a whole bunch of Geritol. I'm ready to go, And I just talked to him, a week and a half ago for a column before the Bad Boy 98 weekend. And he was talking about, he feels more energetic towards racing than he ever has, because his entire 3 decades at Batesville's as a promoter, he's always been doing car sales. He's been going to auctions all the time. Now he's not. He's focused in on the races, and he doesn't have to go all week somewhere else and then come to the racetrack. He's at the racetrack all the time. He said he's enjoying even going to Sam's Club and buying burgers and hot dogs and buns and everything. So he's pumped up, it seems.
He's the only promoter I've known in my entire life in this industry who has watered the track mid-feature with cars on the track under a yellow. He pulls out during a topless 100, drops the hammer on the water truck. Chris Madden's hands out the window. What the hell are we doing, Mooney? That tells you everything you need to know. He's always going to keep it entertaining. Those are our industry headlines for this week. Kovac, final thoughts before we head out to Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett, who will have hot laps here any second at Marshalltown. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, just keep this momentum going here with dirt late model racing, the way the weather's been. Again, Eagle has their big show this weekend. World of Outlaws are out in the west, in the east this weekend too. Hopefully the weather's all right for them. We just seem like we got some good momentum going here in May. We're not talking about rainouts and weekends, a whole weekend's washed out. And then we get to Marshalltown, which is another one of those tracks that everybody is so excited to see, and let's have a good one tonight.
My final thought on that, Kevin, before Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett take it away, is all you need to know. Our 4th Castrol FloRacing Night in America event last year, now this year FloRacing in America, presented by Kubota, our 4th event was August 21st last year. It is May 13th, and we are getting our 4th event in, and by August 21st, we'll have 70% of our schedule done this year, hopefully. That is the dichotomy and the difference between where we were last year and where we are this year. That'll do it for our pre-race show. Thanks, as always, to Kevin Kovac, my great co-host, Todd Turner, and our producer, Kane Runyon. The next time you will see Kevin and I, or at least myself, before Kevin rolls in for the Dream, will be from Eldora, as we will be on site for the Dream. I'll be in that amazing infield media center, the Kevin Kovac Memorial Media Center. Not dead yet. He's still with us. But of course, until then, Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett will take us and bring us out of the next commercial break. We will see you in June from Eldora. Michael Rigsby, Kevin Kovac, thank you for watching our pre-race show for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
Yeah, looking back at it now,
Just do one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to FloRacing Night in America at America's bucket list track. We are in Marshalltown, Iowa, Marshalltown Speedway, and you can see there on the screen there is already an incredible crowd that has rolled in here to the Central Iowa Fairgrounds. Hey, it is so good to be. I call this place home sometimes.
Yeah, what was it like to grow up here and go to school here?
It was so great. I was a Marshalltown Bobcat.
You're an imposter, DJ. You are not from here. You're an imposter.
We look like imposters because we're where are we?
We're in the
right
trailer.
now?
So fun fact about Marshalltown, I love the place, open air press box. The 2 races you and I did here, we heard roughly one word the entire night as we talked to each other.
He told me to steal second at least 3
times.
I
was like, so yeah. So we find ourselves in the production trailer. We're going to be out here tonight. It's a little bit easier on the comms with the way the feedback and different things work. But here's what I do know. There's over 80 race cars in the pits. 31 of those FloRacing Night in America super late models. The 2-time undefeated FloRacing Night in America racer here, Hudson O'Neal. He's in action here tonight, a host of others. And your favorites, stock cars, modifieds, and hey, we go right down to the pits and take a look there, and you see him taking a look at the pit area. Big Perm, I talked to him, the 18D car. They have gone to that backup car we saw the end of the week last week. Brake issues on the other one. Corey Lawler makes his debut tonight at Marshalltown Speedway. You see Brandon Overton. He's been here before, the factory Longhorn team. And yeah, mods, stock cars here tonight, DJ. And let's take a little look at tonight's race info for what is round 4 of FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota 2025 Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. And then we're going to have 4 heat races, 8 laps apiece, 2 Coleman Farms Racing B mains. Tonight, provisional start. That's something else we're noting. We'll take 4 out of the heats. We'll take 3 out of the B mains. And then we'll have 2 paid provisionals and 2 emergency provisionals. That's new for the series this year. Every team that's perfect attendance gets 2 paid provisionals and 1 emergency. And we talked about Huddy. He wanted it in 2023, but guess what? He also wanted it in 2022. As you see high atop this racetrack, we'll see momentarily from the drone. That's your race info for tonight. How about some track facts at the racetrack where you grew up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Marshalltown Speedway. We are right in Marshalltown, Iowa. They call it a quarter mile. I call it a big quarter, a small 3/8, right? We're located here at the Central Iowa Fairgrounds, and they first held racing here back in 1965. They call this place the High Banks for a reason, especially getting into and coming off the corners. Very high getting into 1, getting into 3, very high coming off 2 and off 4. And it dips down just a little bit in the center. It's one of the unique things about this racetrack. And we are very happy to be joined by one of the weekly announcers here at Marshalltown Speedway. He's been on FloRacing broadcast before, your pit reporter tonight, the big boy, as they call him, Jason Frommel. Jason, so good to have you here at one of your home tracks. It should be a great night of racing.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. Beautiful weather. That's the subject of our talk here tonight. We've had the absolute longest spring in the history, 50s, 60s. It'd tickle a nice day here and there. But today, absolute Chamber of Commerce weather, 81 degrees here at post time. Nice breeze moving across the place. Going to make track prep just a little bit tricky here today. But other than that, everything is absolutely perfect here. FloRacing Night in America here at America's bucket list track, the Marshalltown Speedway.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. And there's a shot. Again, it's still early here. The crowd rolling in. Whether you're here on the grounds or watching at home, don't go anywhere. Coming up next, Dirt Draft Hot Laps. It's FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota, and you're watching it all live here from Marshalltown Speedway. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. We're in Marshalltown, Iowa, at the Marshalltown Speedway, and we've got an incredible field of 31 super late models in the pit area. You heard Jason talk about it before that commercial break. A Chamber of Commerce day here today, 79 degrees, 10-mile-an-hour winds, and 0% chance of the R word here tonight.
Hey, do you like milestones, right, DJ?
Yes, I do.
How about tonight, the 40th event all time for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Of course, we're 4 races into Season 5, and we're about to be race cars onto the Speedway. Great crowd coming in. It has been a windy day. You see the wind blowing around this facility, but I tell you what, they've done a great job with this racetrack, and without further ado, cars make their way to the Speedway, and the first one out, the number 93 of Carson Ferguson out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, the Longhorn chassis, Clements-powered Paylor Motorsports, Hoopaw Grading Company, Live Oak Family Dentistry entry, back on tour with us and with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Behind him in car number 2, Cody Overton. Overton out of Evans, Georgia, and the Clements-powered Longhorn, the SM2 Motorsports Shaw Trucking race car. 3 wins on the year, currently 7th in the World of Outlaw point standings. Carson Ferguson on your screen. We talked about him. And behind him, Cody Overton.
Absolutely. Cody Overton will be the next car on your screen. His brother, there's Cody Overton in that Budweiser Big Dog Stump and Tree number 2. His brother behind him, Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia, in that Riggs Motorsports Longhorn Factory team. The Heartbeat Hot Sauce Snap Auto Parts Garntow Southern sponsored number 76 for Brandon Overton, and he will be followed by the driver of the Rocket One out of New Berlin, Illinois. That is Brandon Shepard in the Valvoline Swayberg Cat Francis Petrov Towing Performance Grading Ace Metalworks sponsored number 1.
Riding a car 58 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, but just across the Iowa border into Illinois, they operate. That is Garrett Albertson in the Ken and Beth Roberts Motorsports, Low Voltage Solutions, Romer Machine and Welding, Clements Powered Longhorn. 3 wins on the year for car 58, and riding behind him in car 60 out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, it's Dan Ebert, the snowmobile to modified to super late model graduate. So far, he's run every Flo Night in America event, and he is also competing for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, a Rally Auto Parts Rookie of the Year title in the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Durham-powered Rocket XR1.
Also on the track for this session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps in that Nutrient Ag Solutions, Lance Landers Motorsports, Dynacro Seed, ASC Warranty sponsored. Number 49, Superman Jonathan Davenport, who picked up that dramatic Lucas Oil win at Fairbury Speedway just a few nights ago on Saturday night. JD with 6 wins on the year, currently 3rd in that series point standings. He is a former FloRacing Night in America champion, and I believe that is it for drivers on the track, as we've lost one out over the top of turn number 2. And I believe
that's going to be Ebert, I believe.
It is Dan Ebert, yeah.
Man, how about that race at Fairbury on Saturday night? And again, we're here tonight. Then we head to Eagle Raceway this weekend, the Malvern Bank High Banks Heist. 3 nights of Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series competition. Man, I can't wait.
What a stretch of racing, right? I mean, 5 just phenomenal races, 5 outstanding crowds, and 5 great racetracks
and
last
Mother
week.
Nature supported us.
Yes.
Thank you, Mother Nature.
A great racetrack, a great crowd here tonight, and I have no doubt we'll see great racing. And then we get to go to just another phenomenal track this weekend at Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska as well. Just a great stretch of racing. You know, I see Carson Ferguson out there, and that reminds me, been a lot of drivers. We've got several of our drivers that raced here 2 years ago and 3 years ago, but there's a few guys like Carson Ferguson, like Jason Feger, like a few others that have not been here at Marshalltown Speedway before.
Yeah, it is, and this is a tricky racetrack. You know, talking to Jason Feger today, he goes, man, this place looks really fun, and you know, some other teams back in the pits. Clay Stuckey told me he was watching video from 2023 in the hauler this afternoon studying. You see Cody Overton on your screen, and it's been a really fun start to the tour. Yes, it's fun when you go to great tracks and have great drivers and great weather, but the diversity has been interesting. We've had 3 different winners in the first 3 events, and Jonathan Davenport, one of them, he won at Spoon River a week ago tomorrow in car 49. But fastest so far in this set, Brandon Shepard, a 14.770. The number 1 Rocket House car, as Jonathan Davenport getting things dialed up. He'll head back to the pit area. Carson Ferguson with him. As DJ, again, Group A and B tonight. That means 4 heat races. Group A qualifying the Cup heat races 1 and 2. Group B heats 3 and 4.
Absolutely, and of course the winner of that first Integra Shocks and Springs heat race tonight will start on the pole of our feature. The winner of heat 3 will start second. So with those being Group A and B, that's how things line up. And there is the 2-time winner of this race. He's undefeated here at Motown. That SSI Motorsports Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling Wheeler Metal sponsored. Number 71, it's the New Deal, Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. And behind him, Next driver on your screen is going to be the driver out of Chatham, Illinois. That is Squirrel Brian Shirley in the 3S, a winner at Springfield earlier this year in the Bob Cullen Racing, Thomason Express, Hooker Trucking, J&J Ventures Gaming sponsored number 3S.
Trey Troutman next up out of Hyman, PA, currently leads the Rookie of the Year standings with the World of Outlaws. The Team 22 Inc., Victory Circle Auto Sales, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Cornet Powered Longhorn 22 Star, and the 38T behind him, the only driver to win 3 divisions at the IMC Super Nationals. That's Dylan Thornton, Dilly Dilly, 8 wins on the year, 3 of those in the late model. The Kai Motorsports, Peterson Insurance, Salty's Barbecue and Catering, car number 38T. Great to have him with us.
Yeah, behind him, a driver you were just talking about, Ben. That's going to be Clay Stuckey in that Clemens powered Black Diamond race car. 2 wins this year for the driver of the Lucas Oil. Laser Tech Fiber Cutting, Advanced Powder Coating sponsored number 15. He's out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And behind Clay Stuckey is going to be the driver that calls Bakersfield, California home in the 74X. It is Ethan Dodson. Ethan Dodson, currently second in the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year point standings in the ASD Motorsports. Jarrett Rifles, Azio Camouflage, BK Grading and Paving sponsored 74X.
Let's see who else we may have in this set. As the 09, Michael Leach out of Sun River, Montana. He's run all of our races so far. The Cornet-powered Longhorn, Dust Pods, Bill Stein, Lowenbro Motorsports, Willow Ranch, Wagyu, all sponsors on the 09. And right behind him, and car number 28, Dennis Erb Jr., former World of Outlaws champion out of Carpentersville, Illinois. In the Clements-powered Rocket, Vomac Truck Sales, McBride Mac, Kaiser Manufacturing, 28.
One other driver on the track, Ben, the 18D, the Big Perm, Dalton Wilson, and that Ratcliffe Racing, MGL Auto Sales. JR Motor Sales sponsored 18D, Dalton Wilson, a $50,000 winner at Fayetteville earlier this season. And these are the drivers on the track for Hot Lap session number 2. Dirt Draft Hot Laps, get those fantasy lineups locked in right now. Brian Shirley going to the top of the leaderboard with a 1.4.610, a good lap for Michael Leach, who checked in third quick with a 1.4.782.
Yeah, Brian Shirley, unsure if he was going to make it over here, second in the series points, and got here today on one of the first haulers in the pits. So Shirley's going to race here and then head out to Raceway 7, Marion Center in Bedford with the World of Outlaws this week. Meanwhile, next set of cars make their way out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Get your Dirt Draft lineups in. As leading this set out will be car number 51, Matt Furman out of Iowa City, Iowa. The Furman Builders, Dr. Keith Stanley, Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, car 51. And behind him, it's T-Dub, Tim Ward out of Harcourt, Iowa, the Mesa, Arizona native, in the Longhorn Hallibuilt Competition Engine, Tire Demon, Toby K's Hideaway entry, the 2023 IMC Super Nationals champ.
I'm patiently waiting for us to pan to the next car. There's T-Dub in that Toby K's Hideaway sponsored number 4 TW. Actually thought he had a win at Benton County a few weeks ago, but had a tire that did not pass tech, then handed that win over to Tom Berry Jr.
And to be fair, it was not juiced.
It was not juiced.
It was grooved, and you can't groove with the pro late model, with the pro
correct.
Series, right?
He'd run an SLMR race the night before was what it was. There's Chris Simpson on the racetrack out of Oxford, Iowa, in the C&J Trucking, Hoker Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking, Jarrett and Essex Logistics, Hot Rod.
You can't even say your own company name.
Nope. RLM Enterprises, Simpson Farm sponsored Longhorn. Chris Simpson in the 32. There's the other 32, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, 12 wins on the year for the Oakwood, Illinois driver. That Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation, Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesquite Valley Transportation, 32.
Jason Fager makes his debut here out of Bloomington, Illinois. The Titan Industries, SC Online Sales, Outpace Racing Products, Clement Powered Longhorn, 2-time defending Mars Series champion. And in the number 40B, it's Kyle Bronson, the killer out of Brandon, Florida. The Clements Powered Longhorn, Atomic Music Group, Race Car Engineering, LTX Home Builders, 40B for Kyle Bronson.
So again, those are the drivers on the track for Hot Lap session number 3. There's Turbo, Uncle T, Tyler Erb, that Best Performance Motorsports, Lincoln Filter Mechanical Contractors, BulkMaterialLift.com sponsored number 1. Turbo with a pair of wins this year, picked up that $21,000 Little Bill Corum Memorial win at Tazewell earlier this season. There's a look at T-Dub and Chris Simpson.
That's right. And Bobby Pierce goes to the top of the leaderboard in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. 14.446 for Bobby Pierce. Checkered flag waves. And the smooth operator, fastest lap here. He'd love to get his first ever Marshalltown Speedway win here tonight, as he was the winner at LaSalle Speedway in our opener a week ago tonight. Man, that's hard to believe that was only a week ago. There's been a lot of action in the past week. DJ, we've seen 22 of our 31 entries come out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. They'll head back to the pit area and get ready for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying, but not before the next set comes out, and it's led by the Reaper, Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, currently 3rd in the World of Outlaws standings. Two-time winner this year, the two-time USMTS champion, the Allen Seamless Gutters, Hoker Trucking, Wells Motorsports, 19 for Ryan Gustin. A J. Dickens-powered Infinity race car, and behind him, from Milano, Oregon, the 15D of Justin Duty, the Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, the first class septic, Don Frank Fords, Darren and Mardell Williams, 15 for Justin Duty, coming to us from the Mars Tour.
Tyler Bruning makes his way on the track behind him. He's out of Decorah, Iowa, in the northeast part of the state. In that Skyline Motorsports Quick Supply Olsen Explosives Infinity race car, a winner at Golden Isles earlier this year, is Tyler Bruning. Behind him, the driver of the 20RT out of Chandler, Arizona, 11 wins this season for RTJ, Ricky Thornton Jr., the 33-year-old in the Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste, Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports, number 20 RT.
Number 99 behind him, he won our last event at Lincoln Speedway last Thursday. It's Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, the Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, Bilstein, Millwood Plumbing, McHugh, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Fiat. Number 99, the Double Down Motorsports entry, 7 wins on the year, 5 with the Lucas Series. And behind him, all the way from Jupiter, Florida, car 6 for Clay Harris, the Durham-powered Longhorn. Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, Impact Electrical Services, the sponsors for Clay Harris and his number 6.
One other driver on the track for this wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps is going to be Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, the 22-year-old in that Poncho's Racing Products, PPC Lubricants, Kaufman's Auto Clinic sponsored number 93. That's Corey Lawler. Did you get Colin Weinbarger?
No, sir, I did not.
There you go, Colin Weinbarger, surprise entrant here tonight in the number 14. First time you and I have seen him, the Corbin, Oregon driver, since the Wild West Shootout in that Schramm Brothers Excavating, Checker Flag Asphalt, Swan Island Sheet Metal Works, Clements Powered Longhorn for Colin Weinbarger.
Yeah, 16 wins last year for him, 7 in the late model, 9 in the mod. He's going to race with us here tonight and then head to Eagle Raceway and then make the long, long drive back to Oregon to get ready for their season out there. Meanwhile, Devin Moran has gone to the top of the board, 14.277, the best lap we've seen so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Bobby Pierce, 14.446, second fastest. Gustin, 14.447 in this set as the checkered flag waves on the final wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. And how about that? Devin Moran, fastest lap that we see, 14.277.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce second quick, Ryan Gustin third, Tyler Bruning fourth, Ricky Thornton Jr. fifth. So that's a wrap on Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota Late Models. Up next will be Hot Laps for the IMCA stock cars as those drivers make their way out on the racetrack. And we're going to bring Rodney and Kate in here for that. I was actually, Rodney, I was going to boot Kate out just so I could call the IMCA stock cars. With being the commissioner of the stock cars, I really thought about it, and then I realized Kate's about 4 inches taller than me, and I didn't want to do that to your son, Rodney.
He never lets me forget how tall he is. Don't worry about it. It's an ongoing thing. McGuire DeYoung, the 30M there, rolling around, taking his turn out on Hot Laps.
The next one out on track looks like it's going to be the 01 of Troy Jarovitz.
The General.
Make that the 1X of Zach Vanderbeek. Excuse me.
Well, the General is here. I know we saw him when we were out there walking around.
Yep, he's out there somewhere.
Jacob Murray, the 48J out of Hartford, Iowa.
The K9, the next one back in the field. That will be Tyler Wilson. Little Samico, Wisconsin. The 19, Jammin' Jimmy Gustin out on track as well here for round number 1 of Hot Laps.
I'm sure he has no fans in the house tonight.
The 82, Jake McBurney, also rolling around turn number 4 here at Marshalltown Speedway.
McBurney coming to us out of Boone.
That one will be the 14 JR of Jake Sakow. Rolling into turn number 1 here, and then back to McGuire DeYoung. So as we get ready to turn them loose here for round number 1 of Hot Laps, with our IMCA stock cars presented by Night Sanitation here at Flow Night in America at Marshalltown Speedway.
There's a shot of the jammer working his way around 3 and 4. Working that high groove in. Stage right.
So the next car out on track for round number 2, going to be the Bobcat, Jonathan Logue, out of Logan Sport.
Jocelyn Elmquist out of Boone, the 18J following him down into turn 1.
Those front 2 cars. Then we look back, it is the 14. That is Russ Bryle. Heading down the back straightaway now.
Derek Reimer, the 17R. As they drop the pedal, the green's out. We're gonna turn them loose.
The 52 machine also out on track here for this one. That's Weston Coupe, the 52W. And then it is the game changer, Dallin Murdy, the 99X machine. Running that new Camaro body on the stock car this year. I know we had talked previously, the Camaro body, not necessarily the favorite when we first saw it come out, but then once the wrap started to get on the car and everything else, it started to look all right.
There's a shot of Jonathan Lowe out of 2 down the back straightaway. Yeah, it looked way different after it was wrapped. We've got several of them running here on a weekly basis.
Elmquist out on track, also running that Camaro body. So that's going to take us to our modifieds here for hot laps. The first one out on the track going to be the 96 of Cody Brill, Bate City, Missouri driver. Heading down the back straightaway.
Next up is going to be the 40RC, a weekly runner here with us, Rod Clement out of Rhodes.
The 26J also out on track. That's Joel Rust, Grundy Center, Iowa. I believe making his first appearance here at Marshalltown this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe he's been with us one other night so far.
That must have been the night I wasn't here.
I think it was.
The 77 Jeff Ike out on track. I stuttered because I was making sure it was the right number.
David Brown out of Kellogg. Make that Kyle Brown, I'm sorry, out of Madrid. 21K, there's a K in there. I didn't think that was his color. Jerry Flippo, the Rocket, rolling around turn number 2.
There's the 77T Trip Gaylord out on track as well. The 4 joining him there as well.
Ryan Maitland out of Waterloo in the 4. Bill Roberts Jr., I believe we saw fly by there in the 5R out of Burlington.
As checkered flag comes out for group number 2, we will await group number 3 to come over the hill. Once again, whether you're watching from here at the track or watching from at home, we thank you for joining us here for Flow Night in America, brought to you by Kubota at Iowa's Bucket List Track, Marshalltown Speedway. Chaz Baca was also in that group out on track. Looking on your screen now, that's the 08 of Dakota Sproul, Hayes, Kansas driver.
Well, there's the one I already had out doing hot laps. David Brown in the blue 21 out of Kellogg.
Yeah, they're both brown. They both run 21. You know, what can you do? The 48. I believe that's the 48K. That's the kid Colin Hibden.
Dustin Croney in the 5.6 machine.
And the 28T Trevor Fitz rolling around down the back straightaway. As we get set to turn them loose here for round number 3. The 24 machine out there. I believe that's the B24 Owen Barnhill. Throws us off when we look for the number, and then there's a letter in front of it, so it sends it down to the bottom of our list. The 5L, Cody Laney out on track.
Drew Jansen in the 127 out of Tuliptown, out of Pella.
The 5, Todd Shute ripping it around turns 3 and 4. Isaac Malakote I see there in the back of the shot. As well as the 70 of Jesse Dennis. Well, I see water truck out on the track, so I'm going to say that sends us to the end of our hot laps here for the IMCA Modified, presented by Tire Demon by Love Tap.
The water truck's just in another class that we're going to try.
A class of its own. So with that, we are going to send it away. You are watching Flow Night in America at Marshalltown Speedway, brought to you by Kubota.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists and Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Since 1978, Sweet Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level. Because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheels.
Hey race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Welcome to Marshalltown Speedway, FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Round 4 of 2025. It's time for Sunoco Racefields qualifying, Group A and B. Group A will make up heat races 1 and 2. Group B, heat races 3 and 4. And I do believe the track record, May 18, 2022, Mike Marlar with a 13.758. So we'll keep an eye on that here tonight. For the Super Late Model Division, your first qualifier will be Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. In the 76, he'll be joined by Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. In the 16, the 22 star of Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. Brandon Overton in the factory Longhorn, Napa Auto Parts, Riggs Fiber, Dude Wipes, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Clements Powered, number 76, a 3-time winner this year, 5th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings. The number 60 of Dan Ebert, O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year contender with the Lucas Oil Series. And the Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck, Headquarters, Amsoil, Woody's Racing, Fox Shocks, Country Pride Excavating, Durham Powered Rocket XR1 for Dan Ebert at car 60. And Drake Troutman, last year's Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year. He leads the Rookie of the Year standings with the World of Outlaws this year, 4th in the series standings. The Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Brickhouse Tavern, RFI Resources, Bill Stein, Cornette Powered Longhorn for Drake Troutman, 2 modified wins on the year.
3 drivers at a time will qualify. The first half of the field will be Group A. The second half of the field will qualify against themselves. That'll be Group B. Group A will set the stages for heat races 1 and 2. Group B will set the stage for heat races 3 and 4. First lap times going up on the board for this trio, and Brandon Overton is the quickest of the first round with a 1:4.180. Dan Ebert 14.378, and Drake Troutman 14.837. Second and final lap time for the 76 of Brandon Overton is not as good. Second lap time for Dan Ebert's a little better. Troutman's second lap is a little better. Brandon Overton is the quickest driver of the first trio. The early time to beat here at Bowtown, a 1:4.180.
Up next out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, it'll be Carson Ferguson in the 93, the 58 of Las Cruces, New Mexico's Garrett Alberson, and Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia in the 49. Carson Ferguson, the Paylor Motorsports, Hoopaw Grading Company, Franklin Enterprises, Coltman Farms Racing, Live Oak Family Dentistry, Buddy's Record Service, Boone HVAC, Clements Powered Longhorn, number 93, 10th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings, joined on the Speedway by Garrett Alberson, currently 4th in the Lucas Oil standings. Out of Las Cruces, the Clements Powered Longhorn, Low Voltage Solutions, Romer Machine and Welding, Titan Racing Products, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Nutrient Act Solutions, Clements Powered Longhorn, as I said, 3 wins on the year. And Jonathan Davenport won a thriller on Saturday at Fairbury in Kart 49, the Nutrient Act Solutions, Bill Stein AC Warranty, Donna Grucey, Lucas Oil Products, Martin Automotive Group, Cornette Powered Longhorn. 6 wins on the year for Davenport, and he won with us at Spoon River last Wednesday.
Carson Ferguson trips the trigger, 4th quick bend, 1:4.853. Garrett Alberson going to come across the line 5th quick. Not a good lap for Alberson, 15.843, and Jonathan Davenport shoots up to 2nd after lap number 1 with a 1:4.243. Second and final lap time for Carson Ferguson, better, 14.579. Second lap time for Garrett Alberson is better, 5th quick, 1:4.623. And Davenport will roll 1 lap, and that's it. He will stand on a 1:4.243. That is good enough for 2nd quick. Brandon Overton still has the time to beat, 1:4.180.
Up next out of Thompson, Georgia, it's Cody Overton in the 2, Brandon Shepard in the 1 out of New Berlin, Illinois. In the 71, a Hudson O'Neal undefeated at Marshalltown in car 71. Cody Overton, the Clements Powered Longhorn, SM2 Motorsports, Shaw Trucking, Budweiser, Big Dog Stump and Tree, Supply Chain Management, Clements Powered Longhorn. 3 wins on the year for that driver, joined by Brandon Shepard, 2-time winner this year, the Valve Lane Rocket One Racing, Performance Grading, Slipper Calf, Ranches, Ace Metalworks, Franklin Enterprises, Collins Brothers Towing, Durham Powered Rocket Chassis, 8th in the Lucas Oil standings for Shepard, and Hudson O'Neal, the 71 car, 3 wins on the year, the SSI Motorsports, Wheeler Metals, Pro Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions, Big River Steel, Merrill Bonding, Clements Powered Longhorn.
Cody Overton goes 6th quick on lap 1. Brandon Shepard goes 3rd, and Hudson O'Neal got up over the top at turns 1 and 2. He is not going to like his first lap time, two-time winner here at Motown, a 1:7.477. Cody Overton's second lap is not any better. Seventh quick, 1:4.670. Brandon Shepard's second lap, not as good. He'll stand on lap 1. Third quick, 1:4.330. And the second and final lap time for Hudson O'Neal, much better. He checks in fifth quick, 1:4.498 after 9 cars. Brandon Overton, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Shepard, your top 3.
Up next, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, second in the series standings in Car 3S. The 15 of Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana, and the 74X of Ethan Dodson out of Bakersfield, California. Brian Shirley, the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express, VP Racing Fuels, J&E Construction, J&J Ventures Gaming, Durham Power to Longhorn. 1 win on the year for Brian Shirley. In car number 3S, the 15 of Clay Stuckey, the Lucas Oil Advanced Powder Coating, Mooring Transport, FiberTech Laser Cutting, Clements Powered Black Diamond entry for Stuckey. 2 wins on the year for Louisiana racer. And California's Ethan Dodson in car 74X, the ASD Motorsports, Azio, Jarrett Rifles, BK Paving and Grading, American Racing Pro Series, Clements Powered Longhorn. 1 win this year for Dodson, and it came with the Outlaws.
And we will have a Midwest sheet metal caution flag as Brian Shirley drifted out over the top of turns 1 and 2. So Shirley will be throwing away his first qualifying lap. I need to get Brian over here on the right side of the guardrail. There he is.
Which would be the left side.
That would be the left side.
The right side is the left side.
The correct side would be the left side.
The correct. I like right and left. The right side's the left side.
Absolutely.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? Gabriel New on the back straightaway here this year at Marshalltown Speedway. That and a catwalk now down in the middle of, on the outside of the racetrack off of turns 3 and 4. So first lap time going to go up. Well, the green flag will now fly once again for the 74X of Ethan Dodson, Clay Stuckey, and Brian Shirley. Shirley going to be 6th quick with a 1:4.549. Clay Stuckey 11th fastest, 1:5.087. And the first lap time for Ethan Dodson is 12th quick, 1:5.181. Brian Shirley, I stand corrected, he was not on the clock. He was not on the clock yet when he went out over. Second lap time is not as good, so Shirley will be 6th quick. Ethan Dodson, 1:5.181, is 11th fastest, better lap, 1:4.979. And Clay Stuckey will be 12th quick, best lap, 1:5.025. 12 cars have qualified. Brandon Overton still atop the leaderboard with a 1:4.180.
Up next, Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois, in the 28, and the 18D of Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Dennis Erb Jr., the Vomac Truck sells McBride Mac, Kaiser Manufacturing, Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, VP Racing Fuels, Collins Signs, Clements Powered Rocket, former World of Outlaws champion, 3-time Hell Tour champion in the 28, and the 18D of Dalton Wilson, the Big Perm out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Ratliff Racing, Grant Lee Farms, ICS, MGL Auto Sales, the Keltner Construction Auto Outlet, Buddha Burt, Honeycutt Custom Cabinets, and JRR Motor Sales, all sponsors on the Clements Powered Longhorn for Dalton Wilson with 1 win on the year.
4 drivers left to qualify in Group A, so we'll split them up 2 and 2 each. First driver to lay down a lap time will be Dennis Erb Jr., 11th quick, 1:4.883. And the first lap time for Dalton Wilson, he now goes 11th with a 1:4.783. Need to pick it up if they're going to catch Brandon Overton, who laid down an early lap time of 1:4.180. Dennis Erb's second lap not as good. He'll stay 12th, 14.883 his best lap. Same with Dalton Wilson, 14.783 the best lap for the Fayetteville, North Carolina driver. He is 11th. Brandon Overton, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Shepard still the top 3 with 2 drivers left to qualify here in Group A.
Yeah, up next will be Michael Leach out of Sun River, Montana, in the 09, and Orcutt, California native Dylan Thornton in the 38T. Michael Leach, the Dust Pods, Bill Stein, Willenboro Motorsports, Willow Ranch, Wagyu, Hellraiser Jacks, Cornette Powered Longhorn for Michael Leach, 3 wins last year in the mod. And the 38T, now residing in Des Moines, Iowa, from Orcutt, California. And the Cornette Lightning Longhorn, Kai Motorsports, Peterson Insurance, Salty's Barbecue and Catering, Hoker Trucking, Bill Stein, Drake Excavating and Aggregate entry for Dylan Thornton. 8 wins already this year, DJ 3 in the late model.
Dilly, absolutely. And that Ricky and Brenda Kai, number 38T, just got offered that ride by Cody Summer. He will drive the DRT house car at Eldora Speedway at the Dirt Late Model Dream. Let's see what the first lap time is for the 38T of Dylan Thornton. 1:5.065 for Dylan Thornton. Michael Leach is 1:4.986. Second and final lap time's going to go up, and Dilly slips up off the top of turns 3 and 4, and that will not give him a good second qualifying lap. Michael Leach improved on lap number 2, Ben. He'll be 13th with a 1.4886. Dilly is going to go 16th with a 1.5065, and that's unofficially a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group A. There's your quick qualifier for the first half of the field. Out of Evans, Georgia, big sexy Brandon Overton with a 1.4.180. So a good lap for the driver. That Riggs Motorsports Longhorn Factory team. The Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Napa Auto Parts, Garnto Southern, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Dude Wipes, number 76. 3 wins on the year for Brandon Overton. Unofficially, he will start on the pole of heat race number 1 here later on tonight. Jonathan Davenport was second quick. He will start on the pole of heat race number 2. Then it's Brandon Shepard third quick, and a good lap for Danny Ebert, Ben, as the former USMTS modified standout will start on the outside front row of heat race number 2. It was Hudson O'Neill 5th, Brian Shirley 6th, Carson Ferguson 7th, Garrett Alberson 8th, Cody Overton 9th, and Drake Troutman unofficially rounding out the top 10 in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials in Group A.
Yeah, DJs, we get set now. Group B, your first qualifier is going to be Tim Ward out of Mesa, Arizona, the Mesa, Arizona native, I should say, in the 4TW. Jason Fager in the 25 out of Bloomington, Illinois, and Chris Simpson, the 32S out of Oxford, Iowa. That's your first 3 qualifiers in this group. Tim Ward, as we said, the Arizona native, now residing in Harcourt, Iowa, the Tire Demon, Toby K's Hideaway, Hallibuilt Competition Engine, Longhorn Race Car, the 2023 IMC Modified Super Nationals Champion. Jason Fager, 2-time defending Mars Champion, the Titan Industries, SC Online Sales, Outpace Racing Products, Northeast Fabrication, Digital Copy Systems, Clements Powered Longhorn for the 2-time winner this year, Jason Fager, and Chris Simpson in Car 32, that's the C&J Trucking, Kohler on tonight. Hooker Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking, Superior Cleaning Services, Factory CS, Durham Powered Longhorn for Chris Simpson.
T-Dub 15287, his first time around, and he's still got the spec motor in that car, by the way. Jason Fager 14605, Chris Simpson 14908, first time around. Teed up, going to check in on lap number 2, not quite as good, a 15291. He'll be third quick after 3. Jason Fager's second lap not as good, 14605, his best lap, and Chris Simpson improves a little on lap number 2. He'll go 14896. So Jason Fager sets the early bar in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group B. That early time to beat is 1.4.605.
Up next, Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois in the 32. The 40B of Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. And Iowa City, Iowa's Matt Furman. Bobby Pierce, the Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. 12 wins on the year, and he currently leads the Outlaw points and the FloRacing Night in America points. The 40B of Kyle Bronson, Atomic Music Group, Race Car Engineering, LTX Home Builders, Borchers Equipment, Mullinex Recycling, and Michael Lloyd Hauling and Distributing, Clements Powered Longhorn. And Matt Furman out of Iowa City, Iowa, the Dr. Ralph Stevens Furman Builders, Dr. Keith Stanley Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn. And Furman's picking daisies outside turns 1 and 2. That is going to draw a Midwest Sheet Metal caution as he's off the racetrack. The good news is he's on all 4 tires. If you were pulling into the facility right now, you said, I'll be damned, Matt Furman's staring me in the eyes as I come to park in the parking lot as he sits on that exit row, and there are literally cars pulling in, I don't know, about 100 yards in front of that.
Yeah, that's we need a Charlie Mefford.
Can we zoom out on the drone, just get a feel for what we've got if we get the drone shot? Well, he's making his way back
so
on the racetrack.
I think some of the cars over there are, packed vehicles, and
they're going to be packed vehicles.
No, not packed.
No, they're going to be packed like Bigfoot said.
Yes, like monster truck.
I'm coming for you. All right, well, we're going to no harm, no foul for Furman. He gets back on the track. 1 and 2 is tricky tonight, DJ. We saw Thornton get upside down there last time we were here.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier tonight, too, and I told him to hang on, man. I told him to keep it on all 4 tonight. He said he planned to do it. So there's Matt Furman on your screen. He's got his feet back under him in the 51. You mentioned Bobby Pierce, the smooth operator out of Oakwood, Illinois in the 32. And is Uncle T out there as well? He is. Tyler Earp. Kyle Bronson.
Yep.
Should be in this group. So Bobby Pierce second quick, 14826. Kyle Bronson fourth quick, 15118. Matt Furman is sixth quick, 15701. Second and final lap time's going to go up. Bobby Pierce, Furman is sixth quick. Pierce second quick. Lap 2 not as good. And Kyle Bronson improves on lap 2, but he stays fourth quick. His best lap 15049. So Jason Fager Bobby Pierce, Chris Simpson, now your top 3 after 6 qualifiers.
Up next, Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in the 1T. Ryan Gustin from right here in Marshalltown in the 19R, the Reaper. And in the 15D out of Milano, Oregon, Justin Duty. That's your next 3 qualifiers. Tyler Erb, the Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelter Mechanical Contractors, Sunoco, Anthony's Pizza, First Class Septic, Clemens Powered Rocket. 2 wins on the year for that driver. And he's winning with Speedway with the 19R, the Cooney Motorsports Infinity Race Car with J. Dickens Power of Ryan Gustin from Marshalltown, Iowa, the Allen Seamless Gutters, Hooker Trucking, Wells Motorsports, Carl Chevrolet, Bill Stein Performance Bodies, May Properties Entry, 3 wins on the year, 2 wins on the year, 3rd in the World of Outlaws standings, and Justin Duty back on the Mars Tour this year. In the First Class Septic, Don Frank Fords, Darren and Mardell Williams, Jeff Stewart Trucking, Robert Speed Company, Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, 15 for Justin Duty.
Again, they're gunning for Jason Fager's lap of 1:4.605. Tyler Erb 6 quick on lap 1, 1:5.335. First time around for Ryan Gustin, 4th quick. And now Justin Duty will go 4th quick. Gustin 14.989, Duty 1:49.15. Here comes the second lap time on Uncle T. Tyler Erb's a little better. He'll be 7th. 1:5.274 is his best lap. Best lap for Ryan Gustin, a 1:4.989. That is 5th quick. Justin Duty, 4th quick right now with a 1:4.915. Been 9 drivers have attempted a lap. It's still Jason Fager atop the leaderboard, followed by Bobby Pierce and Chris Simpson.
Up next, defending Flow Night in America champion and defending Lucas Oil champion Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20 RT. The 6 at Jupiter, Florida's Clay Harris, and the 12 the 99 of Devin Moran, your 12th qualifier tonight out of Dresden, Florida. Ricky Thornton Jr., the Kohler Motorsports, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Hooker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Knights Companies, Elite Ready Mix, Clemens Powered Longhorn, 11 wins on the year, 7 of those with the Lucas Oil Tour, where he leads the points. Clay Harris in Cars 6, the Durham Powered Longhorn, Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, National Fragile X Foundation, Dunright Construction, Impact Electrical Services, Durham Powered Longhorn for Clay Harris in the 6, and Devin Moran, the Double Down Motorsports, Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, Bill Stein, Millwood Plumbing, Phillips CPA, Car 99, the Clemens Powered Longhorn for Devin Moran.
RTJ goes to 2nd quick, Ben 1:4.752. Clay Harris is 11th, and now Devin Moran goes 2nd quick on lap number 1. Let's see what Thornton has for him on lap number 2. It's a better lap, but he's 3rd quick, 1:4.745. Second lap time for Clay Harris is better, but he stays 11th, 1:5.642, and Devin Moran does not improve. He stays 2nd quick, 1:4.734. Fager, Moran, RTJ right now the top 3, and we have 3 drivers left to qualify. Jason Fager atop the leaderboard, and he's never been to Marshalltown until tonight.
Nobody likes the high bank fast racetracks. Tyler Bruning out of Decorah, Iowa in Cars 16, and up next, along with Corbett, Oregon's Colin Weinbarger and Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. Tyler Bruning, the Skyline Motorsports, Quick Supply Company, Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Massey Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Clemens Powered Infinity Race Car, 1 win on the year, and that was the Lucas Oil Series at Golden Isles back in January. How was that possible? That was that long ago. The 14S of Colin Weinbarger out of Corbett, Oregon, the Stram Brothers Excavating, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Reed's Automotive, Clemens Powered Longhorn, 16 wins a year ago, still good for the first win of the year here in 2025. The 93 of Corey Lawler at Hanover, Pennsylvania, Pro Power Racing Engine, Dryden, Kaufman's Auto Clinic, Sunoco Race Fuels, Poncho's Racing Products entry for Corey Lawler.
Good lap for Tyler Bruning, Ben. He's 4th quick on lap number 1. Colin Weinbarger goes 12th fastest his first time around, and Corey Lawler is 13th quick. Second lap time for Tyler Bruning, not as good. He'll stay 4th quick, 1:4.825. Might be enough to put him on the outside front row of a heat. Colin Weinbarger, 12th quick. Lap number 2 is not as good, 1:5.301 his best lap, and Corey Lawler is 13th. His best lap is a 1:5.464, and that is unofficially a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels time trials here tonight. In Group B, the high side hustler Jason Fager lays down the time to beat with a 1:4.605 as long as he passes Tech A-OK. He'll start on the pole of Heat Race Buzzy Race Products Heat Race number 3 here a little bit later on tonight. Devin Moran will be on the pole of iBox Springs Heat Race number 4. Then it'll be Ricky Thornton Jr. and Tyler Bruning joining those drivers on the front row. That was your top 4 qualifiers in Group B, followed by Bobby Pierce, Chris Simpson, Justin Duty, Ryan Gustin, Kyle Bronson, and Tyler Erb rounding out the top 10 in Sunoco Race Fuels time trials here tonight.
Fun fact, 4 Sunoco Race Fuels Fast qualifiers this year, 4 different drivers. We've had 3 races up to tonight, 3 different winners. Perhaps tonight we're going to go 4 for 4 on that as well. As that wraps up Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying, so we're going to step aside, thank some marketing partners, and get ready for opening ceremonies and heat race action. modifieds, stock cars, and FloRacing Night in America Super Late models from Marshalltown. We'll be right back here at FloRacing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Marshalltown Speedway in Marshalltown, Iowa. Look at the famed Marshalltown water tower that sits just off of turn number 2 for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Sunoco Race Fuels time trials are in the books. We've wrapped up Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and Ben, none of this would be possible without our great friends at Kubota coming on board in a big way again for FloRacing Night in America.
Yeah, we want to thank Kubota Genuine Parts. When it comes to maintaining your Kubota equipment, don't settle for anything less than the best. Kubota Genuine Parts are engineered specifically for your machinery, ensuring optimal performance and longevity. Keep your equipment running smoothly and efficiently with parts designed for your Kubota. Trust the brand that knows your machine inside and out, and choose Kubota Genuine Parts. Maximize the lifespan of your Kubota equipment with Kubota Genuine Parts. You can go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. And again, the presenting sponsor of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. We appreciate those guys, and not just us, DJ. They support so much throughout the motorsports community.
Yeah, they do, absolutely. We appreciate Kubota and everything they do for us. You just saw part of the great crowd that's gathered here at America's bucket list track, Marshalltown Speedway. And I bet there's some folks in the crowd tonight that are not Dirt Draft subscribers. So if you are not a Dirt Draft subscriber, I highly recommend it. I don't just plug it every week because it's on the screen. I play as well. Ben just saw me over here adjusting my lineup. There's some values on there tonight. I'll give you a little secret, Ben. There's some really good values on there. If you are not a Dirt Draft subscriber, you get your choice of a free t-shirt. You also got a ton of promo codes from Dethridge Opticians, My Race Pass, GottaRace.com, and a whole lot more. Dirt Draft. Pick 5 drivers and play along and see how well you can do.
I love that drone shot. Beautiful crowd here on a beautiful evening, and great fans here. And, man, make no mistake about it. They're here to see super late models, but they love their IMCA stock cars and IMCA modified.
Of course they do.
Each of those divisions going for $1,000. Of course, the super late models tonight going after $20,000. The champion, though, DJ, with perfect attendance this year will get $75,000. That's what Ricky Thornton Jr. got last year, but right now it's 2023 champion Bobby Pierce, who leads the way. Second is Brian Shirley, just 15 points out of the lead. Ricky Thornton Jr., as we said, defending champion. Jonathan Davenport was the inaugural champion back in 2021, fourth. Nick Hoffman can't be here tonight, but we will see him at Eldora Speedway next month. And again, it's only your best 8 finishes out of 10 that count. Now, it is $75,000 with perfect attendance. It's a $50,000 title without. Hoffman will still be gunning for that $50,000 title. Devin Moran, sixth in the standings. Shepard was our champion in 22. Ryan Gustin, Dennis Irv Jr., and Mike Marlar round out your current top 10 and the FloRacing Night in America standings. And DJ, a lot of exciting events coming up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at Eldora next as we kick off the Dirt Late Model Dream with FloRacing Night in America, the Wednesday show on Wednesday, June 4th. Again, that leads into the Dirt Late Model Dream. We're at Fairbury as we again lead off the Prairie Dirt Classic. That's Wednesday, July 23rd. Thursday's an off night, and then, of course, the PDC on July 25 and 6. Ben, Volunteer Speedway, Bulls Gap, Tennessee is our home on September 11th, and man, oh man, I can't wait for that next one. Hopstadt, Indiana, September 24th.
Yeah, both those September dates, the Scott Bloomquist Memorial, September 11th at Volunteer Speedway, and then, yeah, we head over to the Helfrich family-owned Tri-State Speedway, Hopstadt, Indiana, September 24th. That is an exciting one, underlined and circled on my schedule. And then we wrap things up November 14th and 15th down at the Bubba and Andrea Pollard Sonoy Raceway, Sonoy, Georgia. And again, the big finale, $30,000 to win, $3,000 to start. FlowSeries.com for more information on all these events. And it is a fun start to 2025. And hey, after tonight, we're 40% done. 4 races in, 6 to go. Grab you some Busch lattes down there. Get you some beer and nuts while you're down there at the Speedway Diner.
Hey, and you know what else you can get down there as well? They've actually got Marshalltown Speedway merchandise on sale back there as well. A lot of folks ask, man, where can I get that good-looking Motown merch at? You can get it right here tonight. So if you're on the grounds, they've got Marshalltown Speedway merchandise for sale. It is available at the front gate. Again, Marshalltown Speedway merchandise. Talked to Jay Van earlier, and he said, man, I knew I was going to have a big crowd tonight. I stocked up on a few of the popular sizes, so get it while it's available. Marshalltown merchandise, and we've got a lot of our souvenir there right on cue. We've got a lot of our souvenir and merchandise trailers as well.
Now we do. You see Drake Troutman, Ethan Dotson, Thornton's got stuff out there. I think Pierce has got stuff, Sheppy, Devin Moran. But right now, we are ready for opening ceremonies, DJ, so we are going to throw it down to the infield where Jason is standing by. Take it away, my friend.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to America's bucket list racetrack, the Marshalltown Speedway. We get set to go for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. It is time for opening ceremony, so race fans at this time, if you would, please stop where you're moving, rise up to your feet, remove your covers. We get set for our invocation with Pastor Kenny.
Lord, I'm always amazed and just in awe on how well you take care of us each day. And Lord, it's just a beautiful evening we have here this evening. And Lord, I just thank you for bringing each one here safely tonight. Lord, I just pray that you would continue to be with us here tonight. And Lord, I just want to lift up the drivers to you. Lord, I just pray blessings over them tonight. Lord, give them wisdom and all the quick decisions they have to make tonight. And Lord, I just ask that you would surround this place with your presence. Lord, keep the fans safe, the staff safe. And Lord, we just ask that we would glorify you in everything we do here tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing to the singing of the national anthem by Miss Jackie.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My goodness, how about that, Jackie? A tremendous job, and that means Motown. We got just one question to ask. It's FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, Marshalltown Speedway. Are you ready? Rodney, I am honored you have asked me to jump on board and call the heat races for my beloved IMCA stock cars presented by Knight Sanitation.
Well, I didn't want you to think I was kicking you out, so I was looking forward to working with you.
Looking forward to it as well, my friend. We got a solid field of 21 IMCA stock cars in the pit area. The Class 2 Tough to Tame. They're going to be racing 8 laps in distance, and everybody is going to make their way to the main event. Heat number 1 is making its way on the track.
Lead him out, the A1A. That's Amy's favorite driver, Austin Kaplan out of Collins into the outside. From Montezuma, the 30M of McGuire DeYoung.
Row 2 on the inside. The winner here last Thursday out of Grundy Center, Iowa, the 94 is Steve Meyer. He'll be flanked by the Vinton, Iowa driver in the 70. That's Dakota Sellers.
Into row number 3, the inside, Cole Charneski, the 21CZ out of Denmark, Wisconsin, and the Iceman alongside from Martell, that's Dustin Viss.
And your final starter in this one, keep your eyes on the driver out of Chelsea, Iowa. 3 wins on the season, most recently a winner with the SLMR late models in the 99X. It's going to be Dallin Murdy. 7 cars running 8 laps, heat race number 1 for the IMCA stock cars presented by Knight Sanitation. They're going to roll the top side of this racetrack in just a little bit. And Rodney, you look over this list of 7 drivers, and I legit mean this. Any one of the 7 drivers in this first heat race have got a chance to win.
Any given night, any one of those can park it up front. You are absolutely correct. So this ought to be a good one, and especially with the game changer there starting on the back end, you're bringing a lot of speed from the back, going to be moving forward.
I got the opportunity. I was talking to Dallin Murdy and his dad Damon in the pit area earlier, and he said, man, as much fun as that late model is that he's been running here some this year, he said, I still hold the stock cars near and dear to my heart. He said, it's still so much fun to drive these things, and it looks like maybe 6 of the 7 original starters there on the racetrack. We might be missing, is it Austin Kaplan, who is scheduled to start on the pole?
It is. The A1A is not out there.
So a tough break for him, so we'll roll with what we got. 6 cars, going to run 8 laps. Again, everyone advances to the main event. The winner here last Thursday, Steve Meyer on the pole in the 94, McGuire DeYoung on the outside, and the green flag waves.
And right away, they will lean on each other down the front straightaways. They threw her into one for the first time. DeYoung through the middle. He will take it out in front, pick up that front left tire, and check out as quick as he can. Meyer in the number 2 spot. Looking back then, it's Dakota Sellers in the 7D as they work out of turn 4.
And the lap number 1, McGuire DeYoung going to be your winner, and he's been real good since getting behind the wheel of a stock car last year, making that move over from the Sport Mod. Steve Meyer in the 2nd spot. Side by side for 3rd there momentarily. Cole Charneski on the inside, Dakota Sellers on the outside, Dustin Viss and Dallin Murdy there waiting in the wings.
Murdy sizing up those in front of him, looking, waiting for the opportunity. Meantime, out of your picture, out front, DeYoung showing the way. There's Steve Meyer starting to inch his way now as he's trying to clear Charneski in 2nd. Your battle is for the number 4 spot. It's the Iceman working down around the bottom.
Yeah, Dustin Viss looking good in the number 20, trying to pick his way through the field of what is an incredibly tough group of IMCA stock cars here tonight. McGuire DeYoung right now with a 1.2 second advantage out front, but it's anybody's battle from 2nd on back. Steve Meyer leading that long conga line of cars, followed by Cole Charneski, Dakota Sellers, Dallin Murdy, and Dustin Viss.
And down in front of the stands another time, they'll head for 1 and 2. DeYoung not giving up anything from that top spot. Looking back and forth there, it is Dusty Viss. The Iceman is there. Then the 7 car is right there, Dakota Sellers. He'll go high in 3 and 4.
And Dallin Murdy going to try to follow suit. He goes high to make a little bit of contact there at the back of the pack. This one's all McGuire DeYoung all the time. 3 laps to go. As the Montezuma driver has got a healthy advantage, a 1.6 second lead over Steve Meyer and Cole Charneski. You're looking back at 4th, 5th, and 6th. Again, Dustin Viss in the 20V, Dakota Sellers in the 70, and Dallin Murdy trying to get the top side rolling in the 99X.
Well, it's nice when you're the leader and you're not in the picture. That means you're out there far enough. Now we'll get a nice shot of DeYoung as he wheels and deals. He'll throw it into 3 and 4. He's going to go down, grab the grass around the bottom. Into the front straightaway. Here he comes. White flag is out. We got 1 to go.
Final time around for McGuire DeYoung. That Vanderbilt race car looking solid up at the front of the field. A 2.2 second advantage over Thursday night's winner, Steve Meyer. Cole Charneski remains in 3rd, and it looks like they're going to race that way to the checkered flag at the end of heat number 1. It's going to be McGuire DeYoung getting the win. Steve Meyer 2nd, Cole Charneski 3rd, Dustin Viss is 4th, followed by Dallin Murdy and Dakota Sellers.
1 down, 2 to go.
3rd spot goes to Cole Charneski, 2nd to Steve Meyer, and there's your winner. How about a round of applause for the driver of the number 30M, McGuire DeYoung. Led green to checkered, Rodney. That's the way to do it.
That is the way to kick the night off.
That is not easy to do in the IMCA stock cars presented by Knight Sanitation. 8 laps will be the distance. Heat race number 2 going to make its way out on the track here momentarily as McGuire DeYoung makes his way into the tech area. And this heat race will line up like this. Starting on the pole, another, I was going to say former Sport Mod, but still a Sport Mod standout, Jocelyn Elmquist in the 18J. She's going to start on the pole, and on her outside in the 69, it's everybody's favorite Bobcat, Jonathan Logue.
Russ Byro, the 14 out of Ankeny, is inside row number 2, and Weston Coop, the 52W, Rockwell, Iowa driver.
In the K9, the Wolf Dog, Tyler Wilson, going to roll inside row 3. He starts 5th, the Wisconsin native, and Ames, Iowa's Derek Reimer in the 17R goes alongside.
I'm going to round it out with a familiar name in a different car, the 7V. That is Speedy Bray, Brayton Carter jumping in one tonight.
And keep your eyes on Speedy Bray. Green flags out. We're underway. Heat race number 2. Again, 8 laps the distance. Everybody makes their way to the main event. And no surprise, the Bobcat, Jonathan Lowe, going to get the early advantage through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Rodney, they're stacking up 3 wide behind him.
They are indeed, as they make their way out of 4, and as we say, the whiskers are up as we've got one around in 4, but the Bobcat keeps on trucking down the front straightaway. That's the 14 of Byreal.
And Byreal is stopped on the racetrack, and we know the rules here at Marshalltown Speedway. Rodney, 1 and done, so he's unable to get the fire rebuilt underneath the hood of that 14. That means his heat race will be finished, and we will look for him to start shotgun in the main event coming up a little bit later on tonight.
He will do himself no favors with that one, as he'll have a lot of work in the feature to do and a hard field to do it with by the time we get there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just saw up there as well the catwalk off of turns 3 and 4, new here at Marshalltown Speedway this year. That catwalk is packed. The catwalk off turn 4 is packed. A great crowd in the grandstands. It's so good to see everyone here at Motown on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, we had that catwalk off 3 and 4 for a while, and we lost it, but we finally got it back this
glad
year.
It's back.
We found it.
I'm glad you found it.
And got it back up there, and it is a very popular spot. It's a very unique place to watch the races from.
Yeah, indeed it is. Just again, a massive crowd rolled in here to Marshalltown tonight, as you've seen from some of the drone shots. And again, Marshalltown Speedway merchandise on sale behind the main grandstands as well. 50-50, Rodney, you guys do 50-50 here, right?
We do. I didn't see if she was out there tonight, but if she is, take advantage of that. There's going to be a good pot going tonight if we got that going.
Someone's liable to walk out of here with a little bit more money than they walked in here with. 1 lap is scored, 7 laps remaining in IMCA Stock Car Heat Race number 2. And it's the Bobcat, Jonathan Logue, out front in this one. Weston Coop currently rides in the 2nd spot, and Tyler Wilson will be 3rd when we go back to Green Flag Racing.
Great shot from overhead. It is so fun to have the drone here tonight and get some of these unique shots. We don't get to see that on a weekly basis.
Well, I might be able to talk some people at Flow to see if we can do that for you. Hey, Jonathan Logue, man, turning his attention to IMCA stock cars this year. Of course, ran a sport mod for a while, made the move up to modifieds, and here within about the last year or so said, you know what, the stock cars are so fun. I'm going to park the mod for a while and just kind of focus on running this IMCA stock car. Of course, a 2nd-generation driver. His dad, John Logue, incredibly successful, multi-time Boone Super Nationals champ. And Jonathan continuing that tradition, and he's going to lead this field back to a green, but not quite this time. Fooled us.
Going to give him another one around.
Foxman's playing with us here today.
Yeah, you know, that was so long ago on his dad with John Logue.
Yeah.
I raced with him.
Oh, my. I mean... And you're getting up there now, right?
All right. Okay, I'm done announcing with you now.
I'm catching you, though. That's the problem, Rodney. So, all right. Green flag's going to wave this time by. This is IMCA Stock Car Heat Race number 2. 1 lap is scored, 7 laps remaining. And Jonathan Lowe gets the Pied Piper at the head of the pack.
He's going to take him down the front. We'll throw him through 1 and 2. Logue works the bottom as he makes his way around. The 52W of Weston Coop is into the number 2 spot. He'll trace him down the back straightaway. They'll work 3 and 4. Everybody likes the bottom early on here. Here comes the Bobcat.
Yeah, track, just a typical Iowa track, right? These things widen out as the night goes on. This is usually a good sign that it's going to be really, really good by the end of the night. Keep your eyes on Speedy Bray, Brayton Carter, 5 wins on the year. Most of those in the, actually all of those in the Sport Mod, still looking for his first stock car win is Brayton Carter, and right now the 7V is hauling the mail. He is working up there to battle that lead trio in the 7V.
He's made his way up to the number 4 spot. He's not settled. He's going to keep on trucking. He's going to go to the outside into 3 and 4, see what he can find there. Looks to split those 2 out ahead of him. But it's still Jonathan Logue out in front. He's your leader. Speedy Bray looking now to the high side.
Yeah, Brayton Carter started shotgun in the field. Now he's going to go down low, kind of diamonds corners number 1 and 2, looking to work around Weston Koop in the 52W and the K9 of Tyler Wilson. They're going to momentarily go 3 wide off the corner. The Class 2 tough to tame, the IMCA stock cars. 3 laps remaining in this one, and it's still Logan, Speedy Braid really working hard to try to find a way around that duo.
Carter would really like a little slip up of those 2 ahead of him. That's all it would take, I think, for him to find his way through. He's going to the extreme bottom, trying to stack him up again, not going to get it there. 2 laps to go with a wiggle of the green.
Just 2 more laps remaining around this racetrack. This one's been all Jonathan Logue since the drop of the green flag. You're looking at the battle for second right now. The K9 and Tyler Wilson has it. Weston Koop and Speedy Braid. Brayton Carter trying to take it away. Rodney, white flag in the air from the Foxman. Final time around for the Bobcat, Jonathan Logue.
He's trying to take us flag to flag here in the heat race as he makes his way down the back stretch. Now he's got a company coming. The K9, Wilson, going to take one last ditch attempt. He's going to go to the high side, down the straightaway. Oh, are you serious? A winner at the line, Tyler Wilson, the K9, stole that one away.
Well, the dog beat the cat in that one as the K9 gets the win over the Bobcat. Third spot from the tail of the field was Speedy Braid. Brayton Carter second goes to the 69 of the Bobcat, Jonathan Logue. And the winner, he started 5th out of Little Samico, Wisconsin, making the trip down here tonight in that First Choice Grooming and Boarding Clear Modern Mortgage sponsor number K9. How about a round of applause for Tyler Wilson?
What a great finish out of turn number 4.
No doubt. Well, those fans have got a nice view of the racing action there off the backstretch, don't they?
Sitting along the back above that newly installed guardrail.
I like it. All right, Rodney, just one more race is coming up for the IMCA stock cars. It's pulling out on the track, and this will be heat race number 3.
Jacob Murray's going to bring him out. He's out of Hartford, Iowa, the 48J, and to his outside from Tama, it's Jay Schmidt and the 19J.
Row 2 on the inside, the General Troy Jarovitz out of Iowa Falls in the 0-1, and on his outside, my favorite Gustin out of Marshalltown, the 19, the Jammer, that's Jimmy Gustin.
Jake Sockow, the 14JR, out of Manning, Iowa's inside row 3, and to his outside, driver from Boone, that's the 82 of Jake McBurney.
He's pulling double duty tonight. Zach Vanderbeek is as well in the 1X out of New Sharon, Iowa. Another solid heat race for the IMCA stock cars presented by Night Sanitation. 7 cars, 8 laps. Pick yourselves out a winner. Green flag flies off corner number 4.
A pair of J's will lead him down into turn 1 for the first time. It's the outside Jay Schmidt that inches ahead as he slides it up down the back stretch, tucked in right behind Jacob Murray. Then you look back as they fan out, there's the 19 of Jimmy Gustin running in the 3 spot.
All the J's in this one: Jacob Murray, Jay Schmidt, Jimmy Gustin, Jake Sockow, and Jake McBurney. All out there. They're side by side for the lead right now. Murray, another second-generation driver, rolling to the inside of Jay Schmidt in the 19J, and here comes the Jammer, Jimmy Gustin, trying to close the gap.
You've got a race up front. It is the 19J of Jay Schmidt showing the way. Then Jacob Murray, Jimmy Gustin, as you said, as they make their way down the back. Jake McBurney, Troy Jarovitz. As we hit 3 and 4, once again, no change. Out on the front end, Jay Schmidt still showing the way.
I mean, this is a who's who of IMCA stock cars in this heat race. Listen, anytime Zach Vanderbeek is running 7th in an IMCA stock car heat race, that tells you how good it is. Just we say that on the right side of your screen. Vanderbeek gets a head full of steam on Jake Sockow there in the 14. Troy Jarovitz there as well. They're going 3 wide for the 3rd spot on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, Rodney, I tell you what, Jacob Murray doing a good job hanging right with Jay Schmidt.
Hang on up top there. He was trying to push it a little too hard, lost the back end, did Vanderbeek. But out in front continues the 19J, Jay Schmidt. Murray is right there. He can get within a car length, but can't do anything more than that.
An incredibly impressive run for Jacob Murray as we double it up once again as Vanderbeek's got another head full of steam trying to get around Troy Jarovitz in the 0-1. That's the battle near the back of the field. Jimmy Gustin, Jake McBurney still in between the 2 boxes on your screen. Jimmy Gustin remaining in 3rd. Jake McBurney in 4th. Rodney, less than 2 laps to go for Jay Schmidt.
Field looking for the white flag this time off turn number 4. Schmidt likes where he is. He says, I think I'll just stay right here as he brings him by the line. White flag is out. You've got one to go. If Murray wants him, he's going to have to come get him now, and it's not looking like it's going to happen.
Sands have quickly run out of the hourglass for Jacob Murray as they head down the back straightaway for the final time through turns 3 and 4. The winner of heat race number 3 is going to be Jay Schmidt. Jacob Murray finishes in the second spot. Jimmy Gustin third. Jake McBurney finishes fourth. Then it's Troy Jerovitz, Jake Sokow, and Zach Vanderbeek will round out the 7 cars in this one unofficially. Vanderbeek, I think his transponder fell off, so we'll get the official word from timing and scoring. So it's Jimmy Gustin third, Jacob Murray finishing second, and the J&B Motorsports Iowa Foam sponsor number 19, J of Jay Schmidt, gets the win in heat race number 3.
Well, despite the insult, that was fun, so.
Always good to work with you, Rodney. Hey, got an update from the Bobcat, Jonathan Logue. A flat right front tire is what happened to the Logan Sport Iowa driver in the 69, so that's why he lost speed on his final lap. And there's a great shot of that catwalk that sits high above and just off of turns 3 and 4. And with your 3 IMCA stock car presented by Knight Sanitation heat races in the books, Ben Shelton will jump back on. It is time for the first of 4 heats for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota.
That's right. Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1 on the pole out of Evans, Georgia. The 76 of Brandon Overton and his outside. It's an all Brandon front row, as James Essex would say. Out of New Berlin, Illinois, the 1 of Brandon Shepard. And that'll be your front row. Row 2, it's loaded as well.
It is. It's going to be Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neal starting on the inside of the SSI Motorsports 71 on his outside. Out of Lincoln, North Carolina, the 93 is Carson Ferguson.
Row 3 is Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia, and the 2 into his outside, the Big Perm out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the 18D, it is Dalton Wilson.
Your final 2 starters, Sun River, Montana's Michael Leach in the 09, and Shreveport, Louisiana's Clay Stuckey in the 15. 8 cars set to go 8 laps. Ben, the top 4. The top 4 will race their way into tonight's 50-lap, $20,000 to win a main.
Yeah, beautiful crowd coming into this facility tonight as well. Thank you guys for coming out on a Tuesday in Marshalltown, Iowa, as FloRacing Night in America makes its 3rd stop here at America's Bucket List Racetrack. If that's not on a t-shirt by tomorrow, you have failed, Jay Van. It might be on one today.
Right.
I don't know.
It should be. It should be.
DJ, lights are down on the Speedway. It's up to tonight's Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier, Brandon Overton and Brandon Shepard to bring us to the green flag. We might take them around one more time.
Yeah, the winner of this one is going to start on the pole here tonight. The winner is also going to grab a work with Jason Frommelt in the infield after the race.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you know, it's fun because, as you said, some of these guys have been here both times we've been here. Some of these guys have never been, but nobody in this division has a ton of laps around this place other than maybe a Ricky Thornton Jr., but that was in about 18 other different divisions. As now lights are down on the Speedway, it's up to Overton and Shepard to bring us to the green flag out of turn 4. Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 1 winner on the pole position tonight's 50-lap, 20,000 win main event. And Overton on the loud pedal, and he'll get the whole shot, taking him into 1 and 2. Huddy looks to the inside of Brandon Shepard.
Yeah, Hudson O'Neal, the 2-time winner here at Marshalltown Speedway, the only driver to win with FloRacing Night in America, gets a real good start. He grabs that 2nd spot away from Brandon Shepard at the end of lap number 1. Brandon Overton leads the 71 of O'Neal and the 1 of Shepard.
It's crazy to think if O'Neal could win tonight, he would have done it in 3 different rides. He went first with Double Down Motorsports, then with Rocket One Racing, and now in the SSI Motorsports 71. As you see, 3rd on back. Right now, everybody kind of rolling around that low to middle side. I think they're going to push that cushion up the racetrack. It's going to come in as the night goes along. But it's been a windy, sunny day, DJ, and they really had to get as much water into the surface as they could.
Yeah, it's what you see here in Iowa, right? I mean, you see that groove. It starts out narrow and it pushes up as the night goes on, and by the time the night ends, usually you've got drivers running all over this racetrack. But at the front of the field right now, Brandon Overton is out front. But I tell you what, man, Hudson O'Neal not letting him get away. About 0.4 of a second the advantage for the 76 the last time by, and there's the 1 of Brandon Shepard creeping into the screen as well. 1, 2, and 3 all right there with each other.
Yeah, we're halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go, and it is all Overton out front, but Hudson's keeping him honest in the 2nd spot. They race back to complete another lap. Shepard trying to get back to him. Shepard didn't get the best start as that middle just a little bit slimy, but he's reeling him in a little bit right now, and Cody Overton in 4th. Your transfer spots are bookended by the Overton brothers in 1st and 4th. Do we think we have any more racing Overtons down there to bring up?
We might see if we can find an Overton down there somewhere. And I tell you what, Hudson O'Neal, he's been able a time or two to kind of sneak a nose underneath Brandon Overton in the corners, just unable to pull the trigger as they're coming around to the Allgaier Performance 1 to go. Final time around for Brandon Overton.
Brandon Overton has led throughout tonight's Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier. He works off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Now he'll pull away from Hudson O'Neal. Third is Shepard. Fourth is Cody Overton. Checkered flag in there. The winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1, Brandon Overton. Second will go to Hudson O'Neal. Third will go to Brandon Shepard. Fourth to Cody Overton. Carson Ferguson, Dalton Wilson, Michael Leach, and Clay Stuckey will head off to a B main.
So finishing in that final transfer spot, Cody Overton in the 2. Third goes to the 1 of Brandon Shepard. Second to the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. And there's your winner. In that Riggs Motorsports Longhorn Factory team, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Napa Auto Parts, Garnto Southern, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Dude Wipes, Clemens Powered Longhorn, the number 76. How about a round of applause for Brandon Overton?
Well, as Overton heads to the tech area, we're going to go ahead and tell you who's going to be starting where in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. As this one will be 8 laps. Once again, top 4 transfer winner will start third. It's Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia, 2022 Series champion on the pole. And to his outside, late model rookie Dan Ebert in the 60 out of Lakeshore, Minnesota.
Second row back on the inside out of Chatham, Illinois. The 3S is Squirrel Brian Shirley. And on his outside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. And the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing number 58, that is Garrett Alberson.
Inside of row 3, last year's Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year, currently World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year point leader, Drake Trotman in the 22 star out of Heinemann, PA. And to his outside, former World of Outlaws champion Dennis Erb Jr. in the 28.
And your final 2 starters are a pair of modified graduates out of Bakersfield, California. In the 74X, it's Ethan Dobson, and on his outside, originally from Orchid, California, in the 3018 Dilly Dylan Thornton. And we'll send it down to Jason Rommel to grab a word with your Heat 1 winner.
Down here with Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1 winner. Brandon, this thing was good. You qualify on the pole. You start on the pin of the Heat Race. Got to be good stuff here, batting 1,000 so far.
Yeah, we gotta keep her up there. Yeah, it's hard. I couldn't see shit getting in a 3. The sun's right in my face, and when I'd leave, I'd see my shadow leaving. So it's like, damn, they're on me pretty good. I gotta go. So yeah, but our car feels good. We got a good starting spot. See if we can race with them tonight.
Heat Race number 1 winner, big sexy Brandon Overton.
Brandon Overton, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Overton.
Don't change, Brandon. Please don't ever change.
He was on the plane with me the other day, and I got lucky. I got upgraded to first class, and he gets on there, and he goes, I can see where all the money's at. So where are you sitting? He said, Heather books my tickets. I think I'm sitting in the, let's just say the toilet is what he said. So there's never a dull moment with Brandon Overton. Hey, you know, congrats to him and Heather. Got to celebrate their first Mother's Day with Heather's mom, and just so very happy for that family. They're great people, and Brandon's fun, man. So he's into the show. The winner of this one's going to start third tonight. Jonathan Davenport, your pole sitter. He was our champion in 2022. 3-time Lucas Oil Series champion, third in the Lucas Oil points. And he's got Dan Ebert alongside a rookie to the late model division, but Dan had a solid qualifying effort, DJ.
He sure did. Open wheel modified standout starting in the outside front row of this one. Brian Shirley, who very candidly we didn't know was going to be here this evening. He thought he might get an early start on the World of Outlaws trip out east. Garrett Alberson alongside, 8 laps. Winner starts third in the main event.
It's a drag race off into 1 and 2. Davenport, Davenport's going to slide him and take the line as Alberson shoots the second. Ebert falls back to third. He's got the 3 car. Shirley knocking on the door. Jonathan Davenport leads through 3 and 4. Lap 1 on the board, scored the 49 car of Davenport.
Jonathan Davenport, your leader. Remember, he won a dynamic race at Fairbury on Saturday night with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Alberson in second, and now side by side for the third spot. Coming into your living room, Brian Shirley in the 3S, and a good run for Dan Ebert, who's going to take that spot back. Shirley had it momentarily. Ebert back around him in third.
Yeah, Ebert having a good run right now. Shirley back in the 4th spot, outside looking in. Dennis Erb Jr. in 5th, out front all the time. Jonathan Davenport, he is stretched out to a 1-second advantage over the field as Shirley continues to come after Ebert. Ebert right now holds it. The Minnesota driver, Outlaws and Lucas went after that spot, scored to the Outlaws as Shirley goes by, but Ebert turns back down the hill.
Yeah, Ebert, you saw, he kind of kicked up some rooster tails coming off of 4 that last time by, got real high. They'll do the crisscross applesauce here at the Marshalltown Speedway and give that third spot back to Dan Ebert. Here comes Shirley back down to the inside. No, and Ebert goes around and clocks a Ute tire but keeps on going.
That U tire didn't hurt anybody, but it hurt Ebert. Meanwhile, 5 down. Great save. 5 down, 3 to go. Out front, Davenport, your leader, over Alberson. Shirley in third. Dennis Erb Jr., the benefactor of Ebert's bad luck. He'll fall back to 7th behind Thornton of the Dillon variety and Ethan Dotson. Troutman rounds out the field. Troutman having some struggles in this one. Out front, though, all Jonathan Davenport, DJ, and he races around working lap 7. He'll come back to the Allgaier Performance, 1 to go.
1.4 seconds, the advantage for Superman Jonathan Davenport as he blows by the white flag this time by, as Ben said, at Allgaier Performance, 1 to go for Superman, who looks solid, holding steady at a 1.4 second advantage over Garrett Alberson through turns 3 and 4. Final time, checkered flag in the air. Superman Jonathan Davenport is going to get the win. Garrett Alberson second, Brian Shirley third, and Dennis Erb Jr. picks up that final transfer spot ahead of Dylan Thornton, Ethan Dotson, Dean Ebert, and Drake Troutman.
Dennis Erb Jr. comes home in the 4th and final transfer in the 28th. Third will go to fellow Illinois resident Brian Shirley in the 3S. Second to Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58. Your winner of K1 Race Gear Heat 2, Jonathan Davenport, the Nutrien Ag Solutions, Bill Stein, ASC Warranty, Dyna Seed, Lucas Oil Products, Mark Martin Automotive Group, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Midwest Sheet Metal, Bill Stein, Cornet, Powered Longhorn for Jonathan Davenport. He was a winner a week ago tomorrow. He's going to go for one tonight from the 3rd spot. And we're going to go for Buzzy Racing Heat Race number 3. And starting on the pole, it's going to look like this. Another 8-lapper. Top 4 move on, DJ, and the outside front row on the line for the winner.
Absolutely. Your pole sitter, the fast qualifier in Group B out of Bloomington, Illinois. How about some gassers in this one? Jason Fager starting on the pole in the 25, and on his outside out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20RT, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Inside of row 2, it'll be the 2023 champion, current point leader Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois in the 32, and the 15D of Malina, Oregon's Justin Duty.
Third row back, inside another throttle stomper, Kyle Bronson, the 40B on his outside. T-Dub, Tim Ward in the 4TW. Your final 2 starters, Corey Lawler in 93, Matt Furman in 51. Let's send it down to Jason Frommel, who's going to grab a word with Jonathan Davenport.
Down here in Victory Lane, heat race number 2 winner, JD. Man, this thing has been ultra fast over the last week through Illinois Speed Weeks, and here tonight again.
Bilstein. Bilstein's been really good. Got car going good, handling good. We need to get it off the right front. I'm bottoming out pretty bad. Getting in one especially, so we're going to put a little compression in our Bilsteins, and hopefully everybody heard that. So, just having fun. Crew's doing an amazing job as always. Say hello to everybody watching back home, and see if we can keep this roll going.
K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 winner, Superman Jonathan Davenport.
He's going to be upset when I tell him it's Bill Stein. He did all the Bill Steins as the green flag is in the air.
I think he is running, just in case there was any doubt.
It definitely starts with a B and not a P. As meanwhile, Ford does not get a good start. Oh, Ford's going to fall back in the pack. He'll fall to 5th. Not the first lap he was looking for. Out in front, lap number 1, Bobby Pierce. Nope, scratch it. Jason Fager in front of Pierce. Fager leads lap 1. Bobby Pierce in 2nd. Man, that one got a little heated early on.
Looks like we're back in the land of Lincoln with Fager and Pierce up front in this one. Bronson in 3rd. Justin Duty right now hanging on to that final transfer spot as Ricky Thornton Jr. and Corey Lawler trying to close in on him. Fager out front at the end of lap 2.
That's right, but here comes Pearson inside of Fager. Man, this looks like this could have been the Slocum, the Nippy. You take your pick of Mars races over the past month where Pierce got to drop in on it. But Jason Fager didn't have the week he wanted last week. But right now, man, if he could get a win, first time ever here at Marshalltown Speedway, it's from the outside front row, that would be big. Bobby Pierce has been in the hunt when he's been here before. Tonight he's in the hunt for the win in heat race number 3 presented by Buzzy. But Jason Fager's looking strong, DJ.
He absolutely is. Ben, good battle for the final transfer there on the right side of your screen as well. As it stands right now, RTJ on the outside looking in. He's got to work around that 15 of Justin Duty, and we're halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go on the left side of your screen. Battle for the lead, heating up a little bit. Pierce is able to close in on Fager, but can't find a way around.
Good battle for the lead, good battle for the transfers. Thornton's trying all kinds of lines. Justin Duty's running a great line right now. What do you think John and Trisha do? Do you think they're yelling at the TV right now, waiting for Justin to put it into the show?
They are.
Finest family you'll ever find, and their son right now, great young man, and he is sitting in that final transfer spot. Kyle Bronson just got a glorified hot lap session. Nobody's messing with him. Battle continues to wage on for the lead.
Yeah, I tell you what, I really thought that last time by. The 32 had something for the 25 in 3 and 4, but Fager, much like Duty, running a great race and an impressive line. Here comes Pierce back down to the inside. Allgaier Performance, 1 to go. A good run for Fager off the corner down the back straightaway for the final time. Checker flag in hand. Buzzy Racing Products heat race number 3 goes to Jason Feger. Bobby Pierce second, Kyle Bronson third, and Justin Duty will hang on to the 4th and final transfer spot. Ricky Thornton Jr., Corey Lawler, Matt Furman, and Tim Ward will go into one of this evening's Coltman Farms B mains.
4th and final transfer out of Milano, Oregon. Justin Duty in the 15th. Third will go to Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. Second to Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois. And Jason Feger, the winner of Buzzy Racing Products heat number 3. And the Titan Industries SC Online Sales, Outpace Racing Products, Northeast Fabrication, Digital Copy Systems, Bill Stein, RLM Enterprises, Rimtech, Big Daddy Scrap, all sponsors for the Clements-powered Longhorn of Jason Feger. 2 wins on the year, and he'll go after his first series win later tonight from the outside front row. But first, let's tell you who's going to start wearing iBox Springs heat number 4.
Starting on the pole of this one out of Dresden, Ohio, in the Double Down Motorsports 99, it's going to be Devin Moran, and on his outside in the Skyline Motorsports number 16 out of Decorah, Iowa, it's Tyler Bruning.
Road 2's Chris Simpson out of Oxford in the 32, and the number 32 to his outside from Marshalltown, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin in the 19R.
And your final 3 starters, Uncle T, Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in the 1, Colin Weinbarger in the 14S, and Clay Harris in the 6. Jason Frommel will send it down to you.
Down here in Victory Lane with heat race number 2 winner Jason Feger. Man, this thing was good. Here tonight, ripping and rocking from the front row.
Yeah, we had an awful week last week. Just we've really been struggling with this new tire, and I felt like we keep getting a little bit better, but still haven't found that feel I like, but that definitely was better. And I can tell you what's not a good feeling is having the 20 RT and the 32 behind you. Them guys are amazing, and be able to beat them in a heat race would feel pretty good, but it'll be a long race, and but at least we're doing what we have to do here, and I just hope we get some feel back and show what we're capable of, and thank my crew, my sponsors, everybody who stays behind us.
Buzzy Race Products heat race number 3 winner, the high side hustler, Jason Feger.
Jason Feger just soaking in the golden hour down there as you see the lighting. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun when you see this lighting. It's a nightmare for a producer right now as our camera people are probably, our videographers, are having to white balance nonstop. Hey, how about 4th and final heat of the night? We got IMCA heats coming up after this. This one, though, on the front row, it's another good one. Devin Moran and Tyler Bruning, DJ, as we come to the green flag.
Tyler Bruning was oh so good when you and I were at Fairbury just the other night. Green flag is going to fly, and Devin Moran gets a good hole shot through turns 3 and 4, trying to bring Chris Simpson with him. Here comes Bruning to the outside, trying to bring Ryan Gustin along in the 19R as well.
Devin Moran leads the way. Devin's he's our size. If we had to fight Bruning, Simpson, or Gustin, it's over before it starts. And honestly, Devin's probably scrappy. He goes, Simpson pushes down in turns 1 and 2. He'll fall back to 4th. Tyler Erb on the outside looking in 5th. He goes to work on Simpson. Simpson tries to get back under the 19R. Ryan Gustin is, man, that car just took off on Chris Simpson.
Yeah, it sure did. Gustin's going to take that 3rd spot. Now, make no mistake about it. Ryan Gustin might be from Marshalltown, Iowa, Ben. He's got limited laps on this racetrack. It's just not a track that he ran. He started off in a B-mod, got that Grussel Motorsports ride. They went USMTS racing in an open modified. So he's from Marshalltown, but I bet he's raced here less than 15 times in his entire life.
Well, right now he is sitting in position number 3. Chris Simpson knocking on the back door. Out front, it is all Devin Moran over Tyler Bruning. Moran with a 0.6 of a second lead. Tyler Bruning having a good run in the Infinity race car. He's chasing the Longhorn right now, though, as they work out a 2 down the back straightaway. Left side of your screen, the right side, you got another Infinity race car, Ryan Gustin in 3rd as he's pulling away from Chris Simpson. They're all stretching it out on 5th place runner Tyler Erb.
Yeah, you read my mind, man. Tyler Erb, Uncle T back there, weighs in the 5th spot. There's your lead duo on the screen, though. Devin Moran, he stretched out to a whopping 0.5 of a second advantage over Tyler Bruning. Bruning turning in another solid performance here tonight. It's the Decorah, Iowa native right now in tow in that 2nd spot with less than 2 laps to go.
Less than 2 laps to go as they work down the back straightaway. They'll come back to the Allgaier Performance 1 to go. And Devin Moran, your leader, but Bruning gets a big run on him. Can Bruning get there, DJ, on this final lap?
Final time around. Allgaier Performance 1 to go for Devin Moran. Tyler Bruning right there, but he slips up just a little bit over in turns 1 and 2. And that might be all she wrote. Checkered flag in the air. And the winner of heat race number 4, presented by iBox Springs, is going to be Devin Moran. Tyler Bruning 2nd. Ryan, not Jimmy Gustin, Ryan Gustin,
poor Ryan.
And Chris Simpson will finish in the final transfer ahead of Tyler Erb, Colin Weinbarger, and Clay Harris.
Ryan, come get him in the production trailer. 4th and final transfer out of Oxford, Iowa. It's Chris Simpson, the 32. 3rd will go to Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the 19R. Tyler Bruning in 2nd out of Decorah, Iowa. And your winner from Dresden, Ohio, Devin Moran. The Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, Billwood Plumbing, Double Down Motorsports, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Phillips CPA, CarSourceAuto.com, AccuForce Dynos and Testers, all sponsors on the Clements Powered Longhorn for Devin Moran. He picked up the win in our last event a week ago Wednesday over at Lincoln Speedway. He's going to head to Scales and Tech, and you got a special announcement.
Well, yeah, just want to remind folks, 50/50 tickets are indeed on sale throughout the grandstands, and I didn't know this till just now. There's 2 drawings. Not only is there a drawing for the 50/50, there's a second winner that will get a pair of 3-day passes to the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals coming up in September as well. So more incentive to buy 50/50 tickets if you've not yet done so. One person gets the lion's share of the 50/50 pot. Another winner will get a pair of 3-day passes to the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals, and we will send it down to Jason Frommelt, who's caught up with the winner of Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4.
Fourth and final heat race winner, Devin Moran. You took a good look at this place all day long, watched it from its spots. How does that help you into preparing for tonight's A-Main?
Yeah, to be honest, it's actually wetter than what I expected it to be, but I think it's really good. It's really going to start building a cushion here in the top of 3 and 4, and then once we get them crumbs blown up in 1 and 2, it'll end up producing a pretty good race. So felt like we were decent there, and just see what we can do.
She was dialed in here tonight, heat race number 4 winner, the mailman, Devin Moran.
Well, that's going to take us to our IMCA Modifieds, presented by Tire Demon by Love Tap. We're going to line them up like this. On the pole, it's going to be the 53, Logan Anderson. That's Herbie on the pole. Out of Eddyville to the outside, the 21R, Riley Simmons. Out of Ankeny.
Row number 2, it is Zane DeVilbus out of Farmington, New Mexico, the 18Z, and the 13 of Caitlin Sample.
Row number 3, going to see the 4 of Ryan Maitland on the inside out of Waterloo. To the outside, the B24, Owen Barnhill, Milton, Florida.
And your final row, the 40 RC Rod Clement out of Rhodes, and Cody Brill from Bates City, Missouri, the 96.
Well, heat 1 of 4 here for your IMCA Modifieds, presented by Tire Demon by Love Tap. One of our many weekly classes here at the Marshalltown Speedway.
America's bucket list track.
And our nightcap, typically on a normal Friday night.
They have had that spot. As you see, we're still seeing the yellow caution light flashing down the backstretch, so they'll get one more time around at least.
And of course, those yellow caution lights, the Wheeland Engineering caution lights, get their first full season of use this year. Thankful to Matt Crafton for bringing those to the Marshalltown Speedway. As Foxman gives the field the sign, 1 to go. We are going to send them green next time by.
So the field will work their way down around 1 and 2. You can see those shadows getting longer as we go.
8 cars, 8 laps. It is Logan Anderson, Riley Simmons on the pole. We're going to send him into 3. Lights are dark, bringing him out of 4. Here we go.
We are hammered down into the front straightaway, lap number 1. It is Simmons that jumps out ahead. Anderson into the 2 spot as they make their way down the backstretch for the first time. DeVilbus in the 18Z, trouble, turn number 4. Everybody keeps rolling.
We stay green. It is your leader, the 21R, Riley Simmons, leading the way. Herbie Shadow battling for the 2 spot with the 18Z of Zane DeVilbus. DeVilbus now runs the bottom side. Logan Anderson up top. Oh, little trouble for Anderson. Tries to run the cutback, and coming to the line, it is gonna work. It is Anderson in the 2 spot. We are yellow, 1 off the top side of 2. That is the B24 of Owen Barnhill. Exiting stage right a little too early.
Exited before the stage let him. Up over the high side, he looked like he was able to roll it down the backside. We should see him coming around the fence here in just a moment.
Looking at our drone shot here, looks like he's parked it over there for now. Oh, looks like he may not get that car rolling again.
Yeah, getting a drone shot like you said, we're seeing the front right tire pointing up at you. There you go.
There you see it now.
I don't think it's supposed to look like that.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that's an axle maybe, or maybe, you know, the whole right front assembly. Not the way it should be. So
Hey, you know what we haven't done, Cade? We haven't taken the folks on a lap around the Marshalltown Speedway.
Have we not?
We have not. So as they come out, they come down the front straightaway. They go into turn number 1. It's Extreme by Mediacom. Roll on around the corner. It's the you name it turn 2. That one's up for sale, folks. If you want to get it, get a hold of J-Van and see if you can get your name out there.
That one is still up for grabs. That sends you down the back straightaway to the Toby K Hideaway, turn number 3. And then stop at the drive-in. It is the Dairy Queen on North 3rd Avenue. Stop in, get yourself a dilly bar, or if you don't want to go there right now, head down to the Speedway Diner. Got Dairy Queen down there, Blizzards, dilly bars.
We do have those on hand, and then back by the Dirt Defender flag stand.
Well, somebody almost just got a free souvenir over on that dirt hill.
One Frisbee coming out to play. Not sure if that came from the catwalk.
Well, I believe that is one of those Dirt Defenders you put on the outside wheels of the car.
Exactly. See, I was trying to blame the catwalk.
Well, you know.
You didn't let me do that. All right, we're going to send him around. We are still yellow as we get a glance.
Rolling in the high side of turns 3 and 4 as they get the signal 1 to go. It is Riley Simmons out in front.
And Simmons had a nice lead when that yellow came out, so a bit of a good thing for Herbie Shadow there in the 53.
So it is going to be Riley Simmons bringing them back around to the green. We send them into 3. Those wheel and caution lights go dark out of 4. Here we go. Back by Foxman. We are green.
Line heads down for 1 and 2. Anderson goes to the bottom. He'll try to attack from there. He slides up in 2, loses what he gained. Down the back straightaway, Riley Simmons. Again, Anderson's going to try the bottom. Again, he is denied.
Riley Anderson, still your leader, down into turns 1 and 2. 6 laps to go here in this one. We are down the back straightaway. Riley Simmons now looking at the 18 of Zayton DeVilbiss, the 4 of Ryan Maitland, and the 96 of Cody Brill. DeVilbiss up on the high side, that Tomcat 18Z. Around turns 1 and 2. It is Simmons, Anderson, DeVilbiss, 1, 2, and 3. 5 laps to go.
Watch him off 3 and 4 into that front straightaway once again. DeVilbiss, the 18C, that's 18Z, excuse me, down on the bottom, the 4 of Maitland.
Maitland went for the move, now going to look into turns 3 and 4 on the bottom side, going to look to slide it up. It is the 4 of Maitland running 4. Number matches the spot, then up to 3rd, the 18Z Zayton DeVilbiss holding that spot, fighting off the battle. We are 2 laps to go this time for your leader. Coming out of turn number 4, the 21R, Riley Simmons.
DeVilbiss jumped a cushion in 3 and 4, and that's going to cost him a spot as the 4 finds his way up. Ryan Maitland gladly will play 3rd, even though he is the car number 4. Follow him around out of turn number 4. White flag is out, 1 to go, Kate.
Down the front straightaway we go one final time. It's the 21R, Riley Simmons, 1.1 seconds in the lead. And then Logan Anderson, Herbie Shadow running in the 2 spot, got your split screen going. The 21R headed around turns 3 and 4, watching the battle for the 3 spot. Maitland and DeVilbiss. Your win going to go to the 21R, Riley Simmons. Coming to the line, your battle for 3rd. It's going to go to the 4 of Ryan Maitland. And the one missing in between those 2 going to be Herbie Shadow, the 53, Logan Anderson.
So it looks like finishing 3rd going to be the 4 car of Maitland. 2nd, Anderson in the 53, and picking up the heat race win, the 21 car. Riley Simmons, he was out front the entire time. You see him roll across the scales.
As we look pit side, got Heat 2 ready to roll out onto the track. And it's going to look a little something like this.
Dustin Cronin out of Hebron, Illinois, the 5-6 is on the pole. From Boone, the 11 of Isaac Malaco.
Row number 2, going to see the 5L out of Torrance, California. That's Cody Laney on the inside. To the outside, the 77T, Lakewood, Colorado, Trip Gaylord.
Back into row number 3, TBJ, Tom Berry Jr. out of Motown, the 11X. And the 08 from Hayes, Kansas, that's Dakota Sproul.
Row number 4, going to see the 21 out of Kellogg. That's David Brown on the inside. To the outside, it's the 5R out of Burlington. That's Bill Roberts Jr. That's how we're going to line them up here for heat number 2 of 4 for your IMCA Modifieds, presented by Tire Demon by Love Tap.
And looks like they're going to try to roll that high side just a little bit maybe, as we've got them single file working down around 3 and 4. And as DJ said, if the more times they go around, they move that up, and we'll have it nice for feature time. As they work that in up to the high side. So it looks like we will have a B main coming in your Modifieds.
And I heard DJ say it earlier, golden hour here upon Marshalltown Speedway. Looking over turns 3 and 4. Or was that Ben? I'm getting a look from both of them. Ben got offended that I said it was DJ.
That's okay. I called Ben DJ earlier, so.
I look up and they're both looking at each other, and I'm like, I messed up here.
He knew he was wrong right away.
Well, those wheel and caution lights still on, as I believe we may get the signal one more time around here.
Foxman indeed holds the flag out, says one more time, and we'll look to go green. And yes, a beautiful sunset going on out there over the top of 3 and 4, it looks like.
So once again, your front row, Dustin Cronin, the 56, Isaac Malaco, the 11. Lights are dark. We are going to send them into 3, headed towards Foxman this time, looking for green.
It's Cronin on the inside. He has the pole. He's the first to the gas pedal. The rest to follow down the front straightaway for the first time. Turn number 1, Cronin goes to the bottom. Malaco working up a high side. He'll put that right tire on the cushion and take off.
Not the start that the 5R of Bill Roberts Jr. wanted. Going to pull that one in pit or into the middle here as we walk around. Isaac Malaco leads the way here. Cody Laney, the 5L in the 2 spot, battling with the 56 of Dustin Cronin. Those two. And we are yellow as the 5R Bill Roberts Jr. pulls it into the middle. Looks like we may have another right front disassembled here on this one.
And a piece of debris up there is what brought out the yellow. High side of turn 2.
Not sure what that is.
Well, it's not hot. We know that because he's carrying it.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing you can tell.
So we got that out of the way. We'll get them formed back up here. Hey, don't forget that Marshalltown merchandise out there for you. We got tees, we got hoodies, we got great stuff. See the folks at the front gate where you got your tickets. Marshalltown merch is out there. Take a look at it.
And I'm going to correct you. Looking at our stream here, we do have somebody in turn number 2 here tonight. Knoxville Raceway.
Well, my bad. I missed that when I looked around. So good job. Thank you, Knoxville Raceway. You took that up. I can actually say a sponsor now. Here we go. Back to green.
Malaco leads him to green off of turn number 4, heading him down the front straightaway. Here we go. 1 lap scored, 7 left to go here in this one. Malaco heads down the back straightaway, your leader. getting a nice run off of turn number 2. And we are back to yellow as TBJ pulls it pit side. I believe that is actually off of turn number 2 as we see that nice white guardrail.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side of that guardrail as he's rolling his way back toward the pit area.
A little too fast and too furious through turn number 2 there.
You've just been waiting for that one.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, so explain it.
So the wrap job on that 11X machine is from a movie called Too Fast, Too Furious, the second movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise, which I am a huge fan of.
In case you couldn't tell.
I saw that wrap last week when he was here, or on Thursday, actually, when he was here, and have been waiting to use that line ever since.
You feel better? You got that one out now?
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel a little better.
All right, that's good. All right, we're going to line them up down the back straightaway now that we got that business taken care of.
We are going to look to turn number 4. The wheel and caution lights are dark. Malakote leads them. Cronin in the 2 spot. Laney runs 3rd. Here we go.
Laney wastes no time, dropping to the inside to challenge Cronin for 2nd. Laney on the bottom, Cronin through the middle. Malakote out in front. Whoa, hang on to her. Cronin slides up high in 2. That opens up the door for the double 7T of Trip Gaylord as they make their way down the front.
Looking at your battle here, it's Trip Gaylord running for that 3 spot. It's Gaylord, the 08 of Sproul, and the 56 of Cronin. That rounds out your top 5. Now looking back up front. Malakote and Laney. Laney looking for something there, getting up in the fluffy stuff, looking for some grip. It is Malakote leading the way into turn number 1 and 2. Laney now looks down to the bottom. Back to the back straightaway we go. It's Malakote coming up from the kart ranks all the way to the modifieds now. Into turn 3 and 4. Back down the front straightaway. Trouble for Laney off the power.
Laney off the gas pedal down in 4, so that gives Malakote a little breathing room and promotes Trip Gaylord up to the 2 spot. But you can see a big gap in there that Malakote can try to exploit as he's going to wheel her out of turn 4 down the front straightaway once again. 4 to go now.
It is Malakote out in front, 1.2 seconds back to the 77T of Trip Gaylord. 3 laps left to go, 2 to go this time by the flag stand. Here we go. It is Isaac Malakote working his way around. 2 laps to go.
Malakote on cruise control as he's out of 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. The 11 out of Boone looking to put this one in the back pocket as he wheels and deals out of turn number 4. There's nobody near him. He's got 1 to go.
Down the front straightaway one last time into turn 1 and 2. Back down the back straightaway. I'll get that out. The Aspen Air 11 down to 3 and 4. Front straightaway. Here we go. Checkered waiting. It's going to go to the 11 of Isaac Malakote out of Boone. The 2 spot going to be grabbed by the 77T of Trip Gaylord, and finishing 3rd, the 08 of Dakota Sproul.
So heat race number 2 is in the books.
And I mentioned it during the race, but we've followed Isaac Malakote. We've gotten to see his journey up from the karting ranks all the way to the modifieds here at Marshalltown.
There's a quick glimpse at that beautiful sunset. Here's our next one coming at you.
Heat race number 3, gonna line up with Jesse Dennis on the inside with that 70 machine out of Corning. To the outside, it's the 33Z Zach Vanderbeek, New Sharon.
Dylan Potter starts inside row 2 from Orcutt, California, and to the outside, it's the Rocket, Jerry Flippo, the 13F.
The 21K out of Madrid, that's Kyle Brown. On the inside. To the outside, it's your Camarillo, California driver, the 28T, Trevor Fitz.
Your final row is row number 4, Cole Charneski out of Denmark, Wisconsin, the 21CZ and the 10J of Josh Cooper. We're going green.
Down the front straightaway we go for the first time. It is the 70 of Dennis and the 33Z of Vanderbeek side by side through 1 and 2. Now down the back straightaway we go. The 33Z Zach Vanderbeek leading the way. Everybody trying to get up in that fluffy stuff, grabbing a little bit too much here at this time. It is the 33Z of Vanderbeek out in front, the 70 of Dennis in the 2 spot. Jerry Flippo runs 3rd.
And opening up out on the front end, that is Vanderbeek. The 33Z looking to leave the rest behind and fight for the scraps as he'll wheel it down through 1 and 2. Running right through the middle of the track. Dennis trying to run up just a bit higher. Flippo a problem as he'll head her off into the middle.
It is the 33Z Zach Vanderbeek running up in front of this one as yellow comes out on the Speedway.
You got the 3P Dylan Potter back end not agreeing with the front end.
The back end wanted to be the front end.
Exactly.
That would be an interesting race. Reverse races around the Speedway. So Dylan Potter going to exit stage right here in heat race number 3. Looks like 2 laps scored to the good in this one. 6 left to go.
Zach Vanderbeek has been up front since the green. Looking to shake that up just a bit. That's going to be the 70 of Jesse Dennis.
The wheeling caution lights are out. We're going to send him into 3 dark. The pedal gets put to the floor. We are green out of 4.
Down into 1 and 2. Vanderbeek still out on the point. Then you got the 21K Kyle Brown looking to challenge now for the 2 spot. Brown's going to throw her down around the bottom of 3 and 4. That'll push Dennis up a bit higher. Dennis with the momentum.
We're watching back Cole Charneski, the 28 of Trevor Fitz, and the 10 of Cooper. The tape job on the 21CZ, making that what it is here tonight. Your leader, the 33Z, Zach Vanderbeek, Jesse Dennis in the 2 spot. Kyle Brown, the 21K, runs 3rd. Then your battle back for 4, the 21CZ, Cole Charneski, and the 2018 Trevor Fitz. Watching the 21K of Kyle Brown, now back to the battle for 4th.
There's Charneski working his way down the front straightaway. Fitz is on the inside as they work out a 2 and down the back stretch, coming right at us there. They'll make their way into 3. It is Fitz on the bottom. Charneski up a groove as he's got it out of 4 down the front chute. 2 to go.
Charneski leads that battle down into turn 1 and 2. Watching your leader, Zach Vanderbeek, on the split screen on the left. On the right, it is Brown in your battle for 4th. 1 lap left to go here for the 33Z of Zach Vanderbeek. The hottest battle on track. Back for the 4 spot. Your top 3, claim it.
Out of turn number 4, here comes your leader, make him the winner. It's going to be the 33Z of Zach Vanderbeek, wheeling and dealing to the light. Give him the win. Jesse Dennis, and the 70 does hang on, get that 2 spot. The 21K of Kyle Brown.
So those are your top 3 here in this one. Vanderbeek 3.6 seconds back to Jesse Dennis in that 2 spot.
He was all alone out there on the front end as he hits the scale. Gotta like the way that one ran for him.
As we get ready for heat race number 4 here for your IMCA Modifieds, presented by Tire Demon by Love Tap. The beautiful sunset here over Marshalltown Speedway. We're gonna line them up like this.
Colin Hipton, the 48K out of Fargo, North Dakota, sits on the pole, and from Grundy Center, the 26J, Joel Rust.
Row number 2, gonna see the 127 out of Pella. That's Drew Jensen. On the inside and the outside, it's Kelly Shryock out of Fertile, Iowa on the outside.
Row number 3 from Boone, Jake McBurney in the 82, and Chaz Baca, the 75 junior from Mesa, Arizona.
Row number 4, gonna see your driver out of Norwalk. That's the 5, Todd Shute. And to the outside, the 77 out of Cedar Falls. That's Jeff Eike.
Well, TJ and I were talking during the stock cars, but you talk about some hot shoes out there. We got them here in this one.
Yeah, this is a heavy hitting lineup here for heat race number 4. You got Shryock, McBurney, Shute, and Hipton as we send them green down the front straightaway into turn 1 and 2.
First time out of 2 down the back straight as they look to sort it out just a little bit. It's Hibden that'll take him into 3 and 4. He's going to slide up to the high side, grab some dark stuff, and head down the front.
It is the kid, Colin Hibden, leading the way. Looking behind him, it is the 3 of Shryock, the king of the high banks, as they call him. It's Hibden, Shryock, then the 26J of Joel Rust, your top 3.
And Rust, as he likes to do, goes down to that bottom side, starts to attack from there. But up in front, Hibden, he has got it. Here comes Shryock. He's going to look at him. It's time to serve the slider. He's got it where he wants it. Shryock now on the point.
Colin the kid, Hibden going to have to battle back now from that 2 spot. It's Shryock leading the way, Hibden in the 2 spot. The 26J, Joel Rust, runs 3rd. The 127, Drew Jansen in that 4 spot. Those 4 all closer together as the 3 of Shryock starts to run away out in front. 0.6 seconds first to second. We send him away. It is the 3 of Shryock, the 48K of Hibden, and the 26J, Joel Rust, 1, 2, and 3.
Rust working over the inside as he's trying to put that 26J to the 2 spot. He'll go down, work right on the tires, slide it up out of 2 down the back straightaway. Hibden hanging on. Rust applies the pressure. He refuses to go away. Now Rust runs it up the hill. That's going to give a little bit of a break.
We are 2 laps to go here in this one. Your leader, the 3 of Shryock, running away. The battle now for 2, 3, and 4. Coming to the white flag this time. We watch that battle. The 48K Colin Hibden, now the battle for the 3 spot. The 26J Joel Rust and the 127 Drew Jansen. Split screen, your leader, the 3 of Shryock, coming around the battle for the 3 and 4 spot on the right.
Checkered flag out at the Dirt Defender flag stand. It'll be Shryock, the first one to it, as the rest of the field will follow him home. Hibden does hang on for second, the 48K, and then Joel Rust, the 26J.
So your top 3, Kelly Shryock, the king of the high banks, wins it on that one. 1.3 seconds back to Colin the kid Hibden.
All right, it's time now for Coleman Farms Racing B-Main #1 for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota Super Late Models. And we're going to roll 8 cars around. We'll take the top 3 out of this one. Then you're going to have to evaluate for provisionals. We got a lot of drivers not in the show yet that are eligible for provisionals here tonight. So we'll see how everything shakes down. But DJ, right now, let's tell you who's going to start where in Coleman Farms Racing B-Main #1.
Starting on the pole, this one's going to be the driver out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, in the number 93. That is Carson Ferguson. They're on his outside, originally from Santa Maria, California, in the 38T. Dylan Thorpe.
Inside of row 2 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Dalton Wilson in the 18D. Into his outside from Bakersfield, California, Ethan Dodson in the 74X.
Michael Leach, another